Welcome back, folks, to another stream episode with Horror with Nads. I am, as always, your host, Nads. Today, we are going to be starting our Last of Us coverage. We missed last week due to Vegas meetup. So today, we're going to be talking about season 1 and 2. I have an awesome panel. But before we get into it, please do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and helping me get to 1K subs, hopefully by end of May. And then I'll torture myself to go see the new Final Destination movie. So before I bring everybody on, I just want to give a little bit of background. If you are just a casual walker, you've never seen The Last of Us or played in Last of Us, just a couple things. So in 2013, Last of Us, brought to you by Naughty Dogs, gripped gamers on a PlayStation 3. It was an immersed player's post-apocalyptic world ravaged by fungal infections. You play as Joel, a hardened smuggler voiced by Troy Baker, and you protect Ellie, who is a 14-year-old with a immunity to the plague, who's also played by Ashley Johnson, who actually shows up in the first season. It's a brutal journey across the ruined U.S., blending stealth, combat, raw emotion, and it sold 17 million copies, won Game of the Year, and it redefined storytelling in gaming. That's an opinion. In 2023, HBO bought the rights. They brought it Masterpiece to life with The Last of Us Season 1, starring Pedro Pascal as Joel and Bella Ramsey as Ellie. The show captivated over 40 million viewers per episode, earned 96 on Rotten Tomato, had 24 Emmy nominations. It was filmed in Alberta. I don't know, that's a fun fact. And it became HBO's biggest debut ever. Now with season 2, based on Last of Us Part 2, which is also a game, premiered April 13th this April, diving deeper into Joel and Ellie's story. We're 5 years later into Jackson, Wyoming, with Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey, joined by Kaitlyn Dever as Abby. And this is going to be a 7-episode arc. We're going to be covering episode 1 and 2 today, and then moving forward, we'll be covering each episode weekly. Episode 2, well, overall, they're going to be packed with, this whole season's packed with over 600 VFX shots. Oh, I'm sorry. My notes are wrong and I'm stumbling. Episode 2, I believe, is packed with over 600 VFX shots, and one episode alone delivers heartwarming drama, blah, blah, blah. Let's bring everybody on. Let's go. All right. I brought everybody on, I swear. Now you can see everybody. Hi, everybody.
Hello, all.
Oh, yeah.
I have my little speech and everything.
I've got to say, your intro kicks ass.
Oh, the video intro?
God.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Great.
Vex made that for me. Vex Electronic.
Oh, wow.
She is an editor. She does all of my, like, if you watch the Stranger Things streams, she did the intro to that. She did my Penguin one. She does all the little like stingers, and then she'll do my exit, and sometimes she does my thumbnails. So if you're looking for an editor, she's very reasonable priced. Highly recommend her.
All right.
Highly recommend her. But what's going on? How are you, Paul?
I am fine and dandy. I'm a huge fan of the first game. I picked it up like whenever it came out, but I didn't actually play it until I tortured myself when I played it during lockdowns. And
with a virus out, playing with a fungal.
Yeah. I went all in. I went Contagion. I went what's that one with Donald Sutherland, Outbreak. I watched them all. I watched all the virus movies.
I like that movie.
Just torturing yourself.
Oh, yeah. I embraced it.
Very cool. Blue, I see you're apocalyptic.
I say it wrong all the time too.
How's it going, Blue?
I wear my God of War Ragnarok t-shirt because God of boy. Yeah, Nadia, because everybody here, even Toxic isn't the biggest game player, but gaming, I remember the days of NES and Mario and Sonic, and when Last of Us came out, it's that transition to like virtual storytelling where my mother, my sisters could watch Last of Us the game. Like, are you watching a movie? Like, no, this is a video game. And when it came out, it hit big because gaming is evolving from like GTA and Halo, but you used to that kind of stuff for those genres. This game, the opening 10 minutes, and guys, the game's 12 years old now. The main character, his daughter's gunned down in his arms by the military. And you're like, this is the opening of this fucking game. Whoa, especially with the voice acting, because like Nadia and I'm sure off the cover and Ryan would know that they started doing mocap now. So now they have actors, they're wearing like the headsets and the digital dots. So when Troy Baker is talking, Joel is mimicking his facial expression. So when he's holding his daughter, he's actually holding the actress and he's crying and she's crying. And it's so immersive now with gaming. So when you're seeing Joel hold his daughter and Sarah's crying and daddy, daddy, and like that entire sequence, you're watching it like this is video gaming now. Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, but it's
I
been
don't
like
think
that for a while.
Yeah,
I don't think
watched
Until
sorry.
Dawn would exist without Last of Us. I think
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
like that type of immersed storytelling where when I play Until Dawn, I don't feel like I'm playing a combative game. I'm just moving characters along in the story, making the choices for them.
Yeah, but like off cover notes too. Even the PS2 era, like it's just every era, like especially this was PS3. We're getting better and better with the mocap.
Oh,
like
yeah.
God of War
Oh, yeah.
Ragnarok. I watched the whole 5-hour behind the scenes Christopher Judge for God of War
Mhm.
Ragnarok, and these actors are doing more for video games than actually live
yeah.
action films. It's amazing.
Yeah, if you follow on Instagram, the actress that did the mocap for Hellblade,
Yes.
that was like ridiculous.
That was fantastic. Yeah, Nadia, definitely that you would love Hellblade, especially wear it with headphones.
Okay. Yeah, I've been looking for some new games. I kind of removed streaming off of my schedule to make it more of a
it's not scary. It's a good psychological experience, and for horror with nods, Hellblade would flow very well into your channel.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try. I want to play a couple hours of Until Dawn before I go see it this weekend, but we'll see if I get around to it. Toxic, how are you? Not there. Okay. Ryan, how are you?
I'm doing outstanding. I'm the reason that everybody's late. So, no,
you're fine.
So literally, this is a great game. The previous one, the season of this is, I was daring them. I'm like, just do it. You're not going to do it. And they did. So anyway, long story short, I met Naughty Dog because I was a PlayStation 3 fan. And I'm, literally, Uncharted and stuff like that. And so I was there during the old days. Now I don't know what they're doing. But anyway, Neil Druckmann is involved with this show. We'll see. Here we go. That's all. I don't know what to say.
I think they're going to shoot for 3 seasons, is my understanding.
Yes, because
for this whole entire
they are, because this is only 7 episodes. We're already 2 in. There's no way in hell in 5 episodes they're getting the rest of the storyline done in 5 episodes. It's impossible.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never played the games. I haven't played either of them. I know the storylines of both of them. So I like that our panel here has a couple that played the game, a couple people who didn't. So we're gonna discuss, because objectively, I'm looking at it from a TV show viewer, right? But I know pretty much the stories have been spoiled for me. So I knew what was coming down the pipeline. I'm just surprised they did it in episode 2. Not drag it out for a minute.
I think all of us, like Ryan, like I don't talk to them, play the game, but I think 99.9% of gamers, even I'm like, there's no way in hell you guys, they fucking did them.
Zax is right on this one. I thought the same thing when I was watching the episodes. Yeah,
I totally agree with Zax. I thought if I could be a little slightly whatever, Abby's like the hottest girl on the show.
No,
but she's not in the game though. She's not in the game. She's like a beefy, like
yeah.
Oh, dude, she's more built than shit. She's like China.
Dude, she's got I'm just
Abby's a trans allegory. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not my channel.
Really?
I'm not gonna say any more than that.
I can kind of see I can kind of see it, but
in the game.
In the game.
Yeah, in the game. Yeah.
They swapped it for the show. So she's small, she's meek, she's actually pretty.
Little girl. Yeah.
I will say I'll be interested to see, because I know a lot of discussion around episode 1 was the fight scene with Ellie and the 6'3" dude. But then watching Abby's actress, how she handles guns, how she moves, like makes sense for her. Like she uses her things to advantage, I guess, or something. Like it's not unrealistic watching her as but we'll see as the season goes. Anyway, I just want to say hi to the chat real quick. Rachel, hello. Always glad to see you.
Rachel.
Ryan's in here as well. Say hello. Apocalyptic. You ready? You good with that one? Okay. Evening again. Hi, Rio. Yes, we're doing fine. Thank you for asking. Since Fish is in here, and I thought I saw Sin Stalker, or maybe I didn't, but only Nadia's right, 100%. Hook is in here. Always good to see you too, sir. I'm glad he's tanking his own show. Oh, I'm back. Echoing for a second there. It was there just for a second. Now it's gone. It's okay. Enzo, my mom didn't play the game. Obviously, she's 75 years old woman. She thought of season 1. I like that show, but the little girl is just so damn. Enzo.
It's a shallow world. Like, listen, I'm not Ryan Gosling. I own it. Come on.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah.
I get it. I don't know. It's just an interesting casting choice. Just it's very interesting. Yeah. Maybe because she's just popular coming off of the last season of Game of Thrones, and they just. But I feel like they had taken their time. I don't know. I mean, I don't think she's a bad actress. I just don't think she's right for the role.
She's a bad actress. She's a bad actress.
I'll second that. Like, I don't think she's very good.
Yeah, people. Enzo's right. People do like to look at. Oh, Trump is here.
Yeah,
I'm saying for players of the game not to watch the show. They have.
Amazing.
Well said, sir. Well said.
Yes, well said, sir. All right, so we're gonna get into episode 1, Future Days.
Oh, Nadi, do you want to talk his breakdown because we skipped over him?
Oh yeah, Toxic. What's up? How are you?
I'm good. Sorry, I had my mic muted while I was doing a security check at the hotel, so I'm sorry.
You're okay. You're okay. What did you think of season 1? And before we get into this episode,
I loved it.
Did you play the games?
Never. That's why I loved it. Yeah, that's why I loved it. And I'll get to that. We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay. I have a theory that Blue Collar doesn't like, and it's highly controversial, but it's 100% logical, and I'm correct in it. So we'll get there. We'll get there. But yeah, I love season 1.
Wait, hold on. Is this your same theory that you think Donna is a mole from the so I'm like, I don't know, man. Your theory is so
You know what? Here's the thing, real quick. So two things. One, I have completely absconded on from. And it's not because of you, because I had a lovely time on your show talking about it. And it was a show that I very much enjoyed, and I spoke highly of it. Blue Collar will even stipulate that when we did our top 3 of 2023, it was on the list, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I was begging people to watch that show, and it has fallen into the sunk cost fallacy where I will no longer spend any more time on that garbage. I will watch your show when you talk about it, but I will not watch that. So I'm not going to speak anymore of From, so I disavow anything that I had there. Okay. That being said, I have a very logical theory on this show and why it gets the hatred that it does, juxtaposed against how many people actually like it. And it's a sound theory, and it's 100% viable. So
okay. Do you want to talk about it now, or do you want to wait till we get into the episode?
Nadia, it is your show. It is your show. I am here at your behest. You tell me however you want to do it is completely fine with me.
Let's get through episode 1, and then we'll do it in between. We'll do. I would be interested, and then we'll get, because episode 1, there's a little bit that happens, but there's not much. Where episode 2 is a little bit more action and impactful. Yeah. So episode 1 is called Future Days. 5 years after the events of Salt Lake City, now 19-year-old Ellie makes a discovery while on patrol with her best friend, Dina. Is it Dina or Dina?
Dina.
Yeah. Because in Arabic, we spell it D-E. Okay, Dina. Back in Jackson Hole, Joel seeks to help mend his relationship with Ellie. So, and so the episode opens up. We revisit the finals, and let me pull it up. What the fuck am I doing? I don't even know.
These guys love giraffes. Which season 1, you guys may know. I first thought the giraffes were CG. They're actual giraffes.
Oh yeah.
I thought they were CG as well.
No, same. I was surprised they let Pedro and Bella actually pet actual giraffes. Like, no, they were real life. Okay, sure.
Yeah. Okay. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All right, let me move everybody over a little bit. We're professionals here. We do it live, folks.
What else? Yeah, it does a 2-minute.
We're gonna do it live.
Yeah, it's actually it's a 3-minute recap of season 1. So you get to
show. I'm gonna say this just one time. I don't like to make fun of people's looks, but she's the female Mark Zuckerberg. Like, look at their faces. They look exactly alike.
I was just gonna tell Hook. I was like, "That's not very Christian of you, Hook. That's not very Christian of
Sorry.
you."
Sorry. That's it. No more making fun of people's looks.
It's okay. Yes, I agree with this. She would have been a
Oh,
fantastic Ellie. Kind of rough how much shit Bella Ramsey is getting, but she didn't have to take the job. That's true.
The ma-
Pedro
the ma- the ma-
Pascal didn't have to take the job
the
either.
amount of cosplayers I've seen who were Ellie that actually like carbon copy just painted right out the game is disturbing. Like, even Pedro, he looks enough like Joel. I can at least forgive that because he actually does look, and he tries having a southern accent. He does actually act like Joel a lot more than her to Ellie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think they would just look at Ashley Johnson and just go, okay, let's get somebody kind of close to that but younger, because Ashley was
and
too old at the time.
I've seen plenty of women too online that look exactly like Ashley,
Yeah.
just a younger.
It's just the acting part of it. They might look it, but can they convey an act similar to how Johnson did with the video games? And sometimes Ramsey just gets on my nerves, just the way she delivers lines or she comes off. And I know she's supposed to be this annoying, like, you know, look at the world she's living in and she grew up in, and she's not really had a childhood, but it's just hard sometimes. And maybe as she grows.
I think at the end we can do
tune
like a season 1 recap overview, because I have some pluses and minuses with season 1. I'm sure as you guys do.
So this episode opens up by revisiting the final scene of season 1, where Ellie asked Joel to swear everything he told her about the Fireflies was true. He lies, obviously. If you've played the game, spoilers, no spoiler. Well, there's spoilers. You know what? Let me add that to my fucking banner.
We are in season 2. Screw it.
Yeah, we're in season 2, and if you've played the game, you already know this too as well.
Yeah.
So let me update this. But what I don't like about this is that you kind of have to know, and maybe they'll revisit it in flashbacks with future episodes. But so far with episode 1 and 2, you have to kind of know the story of why she's mad at him, because otherwise episode 1, it doesn't come off like it makes sense to be that distant and stuff. So last of us.
And not even like spoilers, because I know Ryan and Cover can back me up. This is narratively same thing in the game. The game, it's there's so much told through flashbacks. Same thing in the game.
Yeah.
You don't understand why she's pissed off with Joel till like 9 hours into the fucking game. So they actually are following this pretty close to the game. So narratively, that was people's issue with the game. Like, we're 9 hours in. Why are you still pissed off with Joel for? He's fucking dead. Like, they eventually tell you, but it takes a while.
Yeah. Whose is this?
That's mine. It's
okay.
Kaylee, I didn't know you were going to pull it up that fast. Kaylee Spanny would have been a much better Ellie, I think.
From Alien Romulus, right?
From Alien Romulus, and I think she would have been amazing.
I mean, I think like in her prime, I guess, I think Ellen Page would have been the best.
Well, Ellen Page was the original design for her, and I agree with you. But I mean, listen, this is very, very simple. This is not super complicated. They had a contractual obligation, HBO Pictures, HBO TV series, whatever production thing. They had that with Bella Ramsey
and Pedro.
She only did so many, and Pedro, yes. So they got, I mean, it's just business. That's all. And then they just didn't look at it hard enough and see far enough. They thought, hey, she was a fan favorite in Game of Thrones. We'll throw her in this. They just made a horrible decision. Is my thing.
I agree.
Yep. Yeah. So 5 years later, Joel and Ellie are settled in Jackson, Wyoming. We were introduced to Jackson towards the end of the season 1. A thriving survivor community introduced in season 1, episode 6. Jackson is depicted as a near utopian settlement with electricity, which is commented by Abby and their crew in the next episode. Agriculture and a sense of normalcy. But there is underlining tension and loom. And I will say this, after I watched the episode, I did watch Critical Drinkers episode on it. And I do agree with them. It is very refreshing to see survivors actually use things like actual, like put together an actual plan instead of just like the whole barricading with the cars. That was really cool and stuff. So I did get a $5. Chuck Norris earned a PhD in math for solving unsolvable problems with one world violence, because the Chuck Norris can solve any problem with violence. This is from RNTNZ. I think that's New Zealand, $5. Thank you. Thank you so much. I do have a super chat goal going on right now. If I hit it, I'll be drinking the tequila that I got from Matthew Lillard.
Ayo.
But
Yummy.
for that, you know what? Let's go with this. There you go.
Wow.
Corey,
Oh, it's Corey. What up,
what's
Corey?
going on? Corey's great. Okay. All right. So, do you guys think Joel made a good decision by not telling her the truth for at
No.
least 5 years?
No.
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 No, you're fine, Ryan.
I
Okay.
did initially because, and I understand later on in the heat of the moment, he's telling a 14-year-old also at this point in the game and the TV show, she was trying to struggle for a purpose and he just didn't want to lose his surrogate daughter. And a decision like this shouldn't come down to a 14-year-old. Also, her decision was taken out of her, but at the time he was justified and, it comes back to haunt him. But I can't imagine telling my 14-year-old kid, hey, listen, I killed a bunch of people because I didn't want you to die, for no reason.
Right.
Why
Yeah.
do you not think, Ryan?
Well, because the reason is that I understand why he didn't tell her,
Mhm.
initially and stuff like that. But 5 years, like when she's so pissed the fuck off. Sorry, language. It's like
You're fine.
dude,
You can swear on this. You can swear on this. It's fine. You're fine.
it's like you have to tell her. It's like it was your life or and there was no guarantee. There was no guarantee that she would be the reason or the savior of the whole entire planet. So he did what he did because yes, he did care about her. He was a father figure to her.
Mhm.
She would understand that. Maybe not at first. She'd be like going, okay, well, but anyway, long story short, after 5 years, really? You
Yeah,
should have
it's-
told
yeah.
her
Which is
60
like-
days, 90 days,
which is-
6 months tops.
A series of like bad narrative choices by Neil Druckmann in the second game.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, because
let's
what you're
not
saying,
go there.
what you're saying, Ryan, what right now though, because this is the end of season 1. Right now, he didn't tell her. Also, this is the point. By the time she's 19 in season 2, she already knows. So it's unfortunately
does-
not. Yeah,
Well, she knew at the end of season 1. She knew
Yeah.
he was lying
yeah,
because she has known him long enough when he's lying. Because Joel doesn't have a poker face.
nah.
Nothing.
No.
So she knew.
Yeah.
And so he's been lying for 5 years at this point. That's why she's angry. Again, fine, whatever. She's a moody 19-year-old. But at the same time, Joel, what you had numerous opportunities to say, I f***ed up. No, you didn't. You didn't say anything. So that's kind of where I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Breaking news. Ellie is gay. Thank you for the $5.
Ellie's gay, by the way.
Canadian
Yeah, she is.
Chat, my friend Zach. I thought she was non-binary. But for you, my friend.
Ellie's
give me 1
they.
second. Here we go.
A delightful little slut. But what about your butt?
Man, I haven't seen that movie in like 30 years.
It's my favorite Leprechaun movie out of all of them. Favorite one out of all of them. I agree with you guys. I think at any point, if you're trying not to be a shitty parent, you could have said something to this kid, even a year from there.
Yeah.
And I think this kid would understand her. I think her anger comes from the fact that one, he doesn't trust her. I would feel like you don't trust me enough to tell me the truth of what's going on. And that means you're really not close to me as a parent figure for it.
Yeah.
I mean, he basically saved her life, and I know she thought maybe she would be the savior for all of this, but like you said, Ryan, there was no guaranteed on it too. So
Yeah.
cranky teenager. She's angry because she's
I don't think that's why.
howdy y'all. At least a little less Pedro Pascal. I'm over him personally. That's my husband, Chris. Hi.
But it definitely it leads into more in the second season, the second game, like why.
Chris.
Yeah.
We do see more why she's upset for, because right now in season 1, she's not angry. She just accepts it for now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
think
I don't know
it's
how the.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no,
go ahead.
go ahead. You're a guest. Go.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, Paul.
My biggest issue with the 5-year time jump is that none of the characters learn anything. Joel doesn't tell her the truth. Ellie is still tempestuous and like just rushes into things without thinking. It's like, yo, haven't you been training for 5 years? Like,
Yeah.
character choices, yo.
Yeah. Again, I think it falls back to that. It's just maybe it's the acting direction on it or something, but she's not a very likable character. And I haven't played the game, so I don't know if she's likable in the games. If there's a little bit more heart there.
I think she is. I think she's
Yeah.
kind of blue, if you agree or not.
Yeah, that's a big criticism with season one. Again, I don't hate season one, but Bella, I'm not blaming Bella for the directing, the dialogue choices, her mannerisms. Ella in season one is kind of a bitch to Joel, and in the game, she's a sweetheart. And that's why after spending 12 hours with these two, you understand why he sees her as a surrogate daughter. I'm watching the show and I'm like, she's bossing Joel around, she's swearing at Joel, she's basically like leading him. She's telling Joel she knows more than he does. It's your first time outside civilization, you know more than a guy who's been out for 25 years. Like she's got a very big, like that one scene with the clicker. You guys remember she went up to it, had this weird look, and she was stabbing it and stuff and carving it. Like, what the fuck? That never. They made her weird.
It's almost like they wrote her like a psychopath, like a sociopath.
Yeah. That one I was watching with my sister and my girlfriend at the time period. Like, why is she doing this weird thing with that zombie? Remember, it was stuck inside the fucking the basement, and she's like, poking at it. I'm like, what is? That's weird. But all right.
You would think they would be trained, especially if they're brought up in a military sense, to be trained to understand like this is a threat. You shouldn't mess with it.
Right.
And it's but again, I think it plays to how they've written Ellie on the show versus the game, and it's just not fucking Alec Baldwin's finger.
Alec Baldwin's finger.
Oh, he's here.
What's up, buddy?
ABF. What the fuck, my guy? I got to hang out with him a little bit in Vegas. I actually got to hang out with him 3 times this year. He's such a big sweetheart. Thank you, dude. You didn't have to, but you did. Thank you so much for the 50 gifted. I haven't figured out your super chat video. I'm working on it. But for you, my friend, I don't know. What should I play for you? Because we already played the sex. But you know what you do?
Ooh, that was loud.
And
impressive. Very nice.
That's about his guns. Maybe it might be. So he actually hit my goal for the Matthew Lillard tequila and Mike Flanagan novella read stream. So I'm gonna have to figure out a time to do that, maybe over the weekend. So we'll figure it out. So, but thank you, ABF. Thank you so much, sir. All right, back to who was talking. I'm so sorry.
Now we're to Abby and her posse.
Oh yes, Abby. We finally meet Abby.
Cast as Ellie.
You know, Paul, I've seen that the past weeks, like at least 1,000 times.
I know. Sorry, I don't mean to, retweet stuff live.
Yeah, I know. Vex and Toxic have this very loving relationship, I guess, with each other.
GMO, huh? What that is.
I don't know what GMO means, so I can't respond to that.
Vex, if you're here, I need to talk to you about an ABF clip, so we'll add that to the list as well. She is Paula, by the way, she's the one who did my intro and outros and video. So
really awesome. Great job.
She's a great editor, great reasonable prices. Highly recommend. Vex, please drop your contact information in the fucking chat, please, for everybody. But yes, okay.
Yeah, but your friend Nadia, she is a good actress. Won't debate that. Of course, she looks nothing like Abby, but this actress, she's fantastic as an actress. no problem with her.
Yeah. No, she's
believable.
Yeah.
She's believable for her size and who she is.
Yeah.
Like again, my husband's a gun nut, and just how she holds guns and how certain things he's like, she's doing it right. She's doing everything right where it didn't make sense.
Emote what she's feeling.
Yeah.
Properly. Like I'm sorry, but like Bella Ramsey just can't emote.
Cannot emote. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. I knew it was I'll get more into this as we move along, but having Kaitlyn Dever in here is hurting the show with how good she is. It's actually Vex is, if you want to reach out to Vex, you just at Vex Electronica, and you should be able to get her on. She's also on Twitter X as well. So anywho, see, I can be nice sometimes, Vex. See, there you go. That was me being nice. That's your one for the year.
Hook is just
That's it. That's all you're getting for the year. And
Uh,
well, whenever maybe Christmas. I don't know, but I don't know if they, well, when Canada gets adopted into the 51st state. I'll
Oh,
be
shit.
super
no,
mad.
no. We don't want them as a state. We don't want them voting. We don't.
Oh,
want them
you're.
voting.
Oh no, yeah, facts. No fact. Yeah, they're
Okay.
way too liberal.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Anywho, but yeah, Kaitlyn Dever's so good. Blue and I know her very well from our favorite TV show Justified, also RTNZ. A big fan of that. She's so good in that. I mean, like, she steals the scene. Also, Blue and I also did a rewatch about a year and a half ago of her film No One Will Save You on Hulu,
Good.
where
Really
she
good.
has
Haven't
like
seen it.
It's
no, I
Alien,
didn't.
Talia.
It's aliens. I can't do it. Toxic.
Oh,
it's
'cause
aliens.
Oh, okay.
And
Well,
it's the
that's
creepy
fair.
ones. It's
Oh,
the
it
creepy
was-
ones.
it is.
Yeah.
You can't do alien horror?
I can't do like little gray men kind of
Oh,
deal.
Yeah, she
We got
can't.
the
Yeah, that's in
scariest
there.
movie of all
Yeah.
time.
Nadia, but
forgot.
the funny part is we turned into like, she's the bad guy and the aliens are the victims because she's kind of
No.
really murdering these aliens.
Well,
I
that's
can't
true.
even. I can't
true.
do spiders. I can't do aliens, and I can't do like war movies, like realistic.
I
Like,
understand.
just,
No,
So
I get
I
it.
got the best movie for you, and I remember I watched it when I was like 9 or 10, and I actually like pissed my pants overnight and like had to sleep with the light on. Fire in the Sky.
Dude, yeah.
Nope, won't do it. I thought my channel subscribers know that this is Nadia lore. I have fears of this, so going forward, I was going to try to make them tier things so that if I hit a certain tier for the month, the members' watch party will be a movie that I'm terrified of, such as No One Will Save
Fire
You.
in the Sky, everybody.
so amazed,
Fire in the
Paul.
sky.
I'm so
Dude,
amazed I've so many
Mars
lists have
Attacks
horror
freaks
films.
me out. I won't
Yeah.
watch Mars Attacks.
Yeah.
so-
Really?
Yeah,
Adorable. You don't like the adorable little troublemaker
I can't.
alien?
It just creeps me out. Yeah, no, it just terrifies me. I don't know. It just like I can do xenomorphs because they don't have that uncanny look almost to them.
See,
With
that's
the big
crazy
head and
because
the
xenomorphs
eyes.
scare the shit out of me.
Oh,
I think
100%.
xenomorphs. Weirdly, I think xenomorphs are kind of sexy. Not in any like,
Wait,
sexy, like,
Yeah, that's what's
like
up.
the
Okay, now I'm
design,
scared.
like the design.
Now I'm scared of you, actually, more than anything
Not
else.
like I want to get down with one, but I think the design is kind of
All
like
right, fair enough.
It's very like I don't know.
I hear you. I hear
Yeah.
you. Anyway,
All right,
but
back to Abby.
Kaitlyn
Yeah.
Dever has a lot of range. She did Book Smart. She can be funny. She can be. I mean, like, I know you're not going to watch it, and I understand. But in No One Will Save You, I think she has like no dialogue or like two lines of dialogue or something.
I
So-
will. Again, it's
Yeah.
not that I won't watch it. I have to be paid to watch it.
That's fair.
We'll
Totally
watch it
fair.
all together. It's all right.
But,
I'm gonna watch that movie.
I'm saying all that to say this, which is you can hurt your show or your movie if you bring somebody in that's so good and your protagonist or your supposedly main character is so mid with their acting ability that the antagonist or supporting characters outshine them. And they did this not with one, but two of the other females in there because they've got Isabela Merced and she's great. She's not as talented as Kaitlyn Dever, but she's definitely way more talented than Bella Ramsey. So it's just it's some really questionable choices. I mean, I'm not willing to write it off yet. I mean, I'll save, give me some more time as we progress. Maybe Bella Ramsey can step her game up, but she fucking better, man, like soon.
I don't think she's as seasoned as Kaitlyn either. I mean, she's
There's
been in Game of Thrones.
there's no fixing
Yeah.
that. Certainly no, but
well, as she ages and she gets into more projects, she'll become a little bit more seasoned in her acting abilities. But Kaitlyn has already had a bigger filmography than her. So
here's my biggest problem with Bella Ramsey. Bella Ramsey has really. This is why I don't feel bad when people bash her, because she's really drank the liberal Hollywood Kool-Aid and is doing the whole I'm non-binary, I'm autistic, I'm on the spectrum. Like, dude, these are just things like we don't need to know that. Like that's not your whole personality. And instead of working towards elevating her craft, you know what I mean? It's not like Jodie Foster went around for 30 years saying, oh, I like to muff dive. She's just like a great actress. And then like that, her personal life, we don't give a shit about. We don't care. Kevin Spacey, same thing until he got himself in trouble. But, like they didn't run around like blasting that, like making that their whole personality. And she's spending so much.
It's a matter of the narcissism. and like
Big time.
extreme
Big time.
narcissism. It's
Yeah.
like, you can be gay, straight, whatever. Like, but if you make it your whole being,
You're not working on your craft. It's like
Exactly.
anything else. So, I mean,
It's
I
what I
don't.
have. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Toxic. Sorry.
I don't know anything about Kaitlyn Dever's personal life, and I'm happy for that. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care who
She's a
she
great
voted
actor,
for.
yeah.
I don't care if she's got ADHD or post-traumatic stress disorder. I don't care what her issues are. All I know is that when she shows up, the whatever she's on is elevated with her presence. I've never turned on a movie or TV show and she's been in it. I'm like, ugh, God, I don't want that. It's always like, oh, hey, she's in this. Awesome.
There is one way for Bella Ramsey to redeem herself. Go do like some random ass play on Broadway. And I'm not talking singing. I'm talking like straight up like talk play.
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah.
I've seen I've seen Death of a Salesman with Philip Seymour Hoffman and Andrew Garfield. And they were like I was like, yo, Philip Seymour Hoffman's great. Andrew Garfield was like, holy cow, phenomenal. So like when Hollywood actors go do Broadway plays to like work on their craft, that's the one way that I think she can redeem herself. Go do a play.
I'll buy that. Yeah, I'll buy that.
We don't know how the rest of this season's going to go. She
We
might
don't.
step it up. We will see. It'll be very interesting to see because even the supporting actors, other than Kaitlyn, there's not somebody who's like well known or well seasoned as Pedro Pascal. Hate him or love him, he's been around the industry for such a long time. He's been in it pretty much everything, and now he's gotten his big break. So now everybody's casting him and everything. But I would be very curious to see if she's able to kind of hold the show together. But we'll see. Leon came in. This show is just like the game, which is just like me, lame and gay.
That's not fair. I do not think Leon is lame.
I don't think Leon's lame. Leon's a sweetheart. Leon, I was on Roman earlier. Leon, who he is on screen, is exactly who he is in real life, and I fucking love him for that. There's nothing fake about Leon. He's crazy in both ways. So, Leon, here you go.
Que hables, maldito, de lo contrario te arrojaré al fuego.
A la verga me vale verga, perro. Y cállate a la verga, hija de su puta madre.
Love it. It's somehow
In Spanish?
scarier in Spanish.
Yeah, I have it in German too. Hey,
that would be even scarier.
Next time you want to reward somebody with a thing, I did put a clip down there you can use if someone gives you something you want to give.
Okay, I see it. You're too kind. Yes, my lofty brother. Okay, anyway, we're getting off track and we still got 2 episodes to cover. So the openings, we get Abby's introduction here with the other surviving Fireflies near the cemetery near St. Mary's Hospital in Salt Lake City, where Joel basically KO'd every Firefly, including Abby's father, who is the doctor that he put a bullet in the head through. So she vows to track down Joel to revenge, establish her as the key antagonist early on. I write what I say and I say what I say. Departure from the game's more mysterious introduction of her motives. So from my understanding, you don't know her motives until she actually shows up in the game.
And even then, it's still she just basically shows up in golf clubs and that's it. And it takes a long time to finally understand, like, why the hell did you just off him for? And everyone's like, what the hell? And you find out 6-7 hours into the game. Oh, okay, it just took you 7 hours.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, even in the show, you don't actually get her actual motives, right? Because she says, well, and there was one doctor. And that's the one thing. It's like, okay, that's her father. That you walked in and you just did the thing, and then the nurses saw you. So hold on. One doctor got offed. 3 nurses didn't. But she's holding on to this crap. She doesn't ask any questions. 5 years, 5 whole years, and she doesn't ask a question. She's like, why did my dad get killed? Why were there 3 nurses that didn't? Like, it's so stupid. There's
no explanation or like narrative.
No, there's no explanation. It's like going, I hate you. Who's Joel? And you've been searching for this person for literally 5 years. It's so nonsensical.
Also, I know with Toxic and Nadia obviously would know this, but Ryan and Paul would. It was a big retcon because when you play Last of Us in PS3 and PS4, when Joe kills a doctor, the surgeon, he's a black guy. But then in Last of Us 2, they
Oh.
show the flashback. Now it's a white surgeon. So they had a retcon. So Abby,
Oh wow, I didn't even touch that.
go back and watch the PS3 cutscenes on YouTube. The surgeon's a black dude. Abby's not mulatto. So now Last of Us 2, they show that now the surgeon's a white dude. So they retconned Abby's dad to fit her storyline for a second game. And everyone's like,
so he did a hate crime in the original.
pretty much, yeah.
It's
like,
Interesting.
you guys had to retcon Abby's fucking father. Like, wow, man. Like,
yeah.
Was there ever intentions for a second game initially when the first one was released?
According to Neil Druckmann, no. But what happened is,
Okay.
like, you guys, just like Hollywood, the game fucking sells 40 billion copies. We got to make a sequel now, boys. But there was never any because the first game had a very ambiguous and good ending.
It's fantastic.
Abby and Joel go to settlement, live happily ever after. That's why everyone didn't like how the second one just feels like a rushed kind of a hodgepodge.
Is there a third? There's not a third one, right? There's just the two games.
We'll see again.
Yeah, the one thing I have to mention about the end of season 1 and the end of the first game is that like the whole sequence of events, like leading from, I guess, when he gets to Utah to when they get when it's the final scene in Wyoming, like it's just way more action in the game. Like I remember really struggling through that like subway tunnel. Like it was hard, and I saw none of that in the show. And like the giraffe scene is so iconic.
Yes,
and it just wasn't as, I don't know, special, I guess. Similar to the way to the Snow White remake isn't as special as the original cartoon. Not to get into that.
Yeah, later. So I have my reservations with the first game. And that's a different discussion.
Anyway, that was like my biggest. Everybody likes to complain about the third episode of the first season or whatever it was, third or fourth.
Third.
My biggest issue with season 1 was the fact that they rushed it through at the end, and they didn't show how difficult it was, as in the game.
So I see what you mean. I think season 1 could have been 2 seasons. I think we could have they would have expanded a little bit more, maybe on Joel and Ellie's relationship. Because looking back at it, it felt very forced towards the end. And then knowing how the first game ends, when we got to the last episode, I was like, they're really going to put this all in just one episode and that's it? Like they could have easily stretched this out at least to 2 seasons. And again, I was very surprised what they did with episode 2 here. I thought they were going to drag it out a little bit, give us a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe show us, if they really want to expand on Abby, show us the 5 years of what was Abby doing this whole time for 5 years, trying to find Joel and stuff. But yeah,
now we have 2 more seasons to find out.
And I mean, just look at the face right there. Like that's emotion.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No, you're right. And I
looked at it. I was like, wow, I can tell what she's feeling.
Kaitlyn, to me, she can show maturity through her acting with the character. Bella, she's supposed to be 19 in this. She's had 5 years in this world. She's grown up in this world. She's had shit happen to her. But I feel like there's still no maturity in her, even in the serious moments. It's almost like she's just kind of written there to be the butt of the jokes or try to be funny, right? Her defense mechanism is doing stupid stuff like that. And it doesn't come across really well in certain moments. Leon became a member. Thank you, man. Again, you're awesome. You know what? For you,
anyone messes with me and the whole camp goes. Come on, child, burn me.
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
Of course, her growth is.
And you guys, it's not a big issue, but obviously, again, Bella for her and Pedro's only been 2 years. When you see Ellie in the game, right? She's 14. She's about I'd say mid-waist high to Joel. In the second game, she's almost Joel's equal because it's been 5 years. She's grown in 5 years from 14 to 19. Bella looks exactly the fucking same. Some people said, shouldn't they maybe recast her, because Ellie in the game is a lot bigger than she was in the first game. She's not as 6 foot as Joel, but she's almost up to Joel's probably his collarbone. So she's got a lot bigger.
Okay, I know we gotta get through 2 episodes, and I know everybody's gonna have a comment on this scene.
Unrealistic. That's my only comment.
unrealistic, doesn't make sense, how does a whatever, is she like 5'5",
No,
100
actually,
pounds
she's
soaking wet?
5'1", because I looked it up.
5'1", so
Christ.
He's 5'1".
100 pounds.
And
Yeah, I'm
I
sorry,
said
no.
this to our buddy Bean Talks No Dark Hour with Critical Drinker. The actor is a stuntman. He is 6'4" and weighs 240 pounds.
So he's my size? Really?
He's 240 and she's 5'1".
Dude, I'd murder her.
I'm
Are
5'6",
you serious?
and she couldn't hurt me. There's not many guys. He's basically the size of Jack Reacher. So to think that Bella Ramsey could take out Jack Reacher,
or even like even have a chance, right? So the size disparity, the best scene ever of like a size disparity was in True Romance, where James Gandolfini beats the ever living crap out of Patricia Arquette, and like that is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand why to put this in. My thing is this: I don't care how muscular you are as a woman. There might be a one-off or two, but there's no way. I'm 5'8". I'm not going to be able to take down a 5'8" dude, let alone like a 6'3" dude. Yeah. No matter what kind of training I have, men just have.
Even with strength. Like jujitsu or anything, like it just no.
So
that's why they have weight classes.
Yeah. I agree with all of the things that are being said now, except. So I thought everybody in the panel watched the episode. Did you guys like get on your phones or something and you missed the whole part where?
Oh yeah, they were pulling the punches.
No, the guy was told to throw the fight, and that's why she was pissed off. She's training because she's got to train, and you don't train. I know our friend Dark Hour does martial arts and stuff like that, but he very strategically glossed over a fact that when you do martial arts training or unarmed self-defense, as we call it in the military, you don't train with somebody your size to do that. There's no point in doing that. When you train with someone who's way out of your class so that you strive to that next level. So you can you don't do 10 push-ups to train your body to do 10 push-ups. You do 300 push-ups to train your body to do 50 on the test. And I listened to him on Open Bar, and I was like, he purposely skirted. He said it like for 1 second, whatever the martial arts name of it is, where it's like bracing, or I don't know the exact technical term, but in the military we call it train to failure. So you go up against when I did martial arts training, I did it against a dude that was like a 3rd degree black belt, and he was 3 inches taller than me and had like 50 pounds more on me, most of it muscle, because you don't train with somebody your size. That doesn't do anything for you. And that's what got little brat Ellie pissed off, is because her little brain couldn't understand that concept. But the people who were in charge of training her did, plus the fact that Joel didn't want to see her get hurt. So this guy threw the fight. He's just being an accommodating stuntman, both in real life and in the context of the story. This seemed very clear to me when I watched it. I don't understand the big controversy here. People are taking this on face value.
Sorry.
The reason why I would push back on this is that I don't care how much she's training against a 6'3", 200-something pound guy at her weight. No matter what, even if she beats this dude in practice and stuff, in the real world, if she's out there, especially with the infected, they're stronger than average humans anyway. Right. She's not going to beat any dude. She's not going to beat a dude even smaller than this guy, no matter how much you're training. Because when you're in training, you're in agreement that you're not going to try to kill each other, right? You're not going to try to smash the skull. But any other 6'3" dude she meets out there, no matter how much she's trained to fail on this one, is going to be able to crush her skull within minutes.
I don't think the purpose of it was for that. I think the purpose of training with a dude like this, because you see they're not wearing pads. In most training stuff like this, the person who's playing the antagonist would wear some kind of padding. Now, obviously, this is post-apocalyptic. They probably don't have that much resources. I think they're training in a barn or something like that. And the whole purpose of it, I know I've watched the behind the scenes making of this, where the guy that she's training with, who may be the same guy, I'm not sure, he is in fact wearing pads, and they're in a gym and they're on mats and stuff like that in order to do this scene. What I'm trying to make you guys understand is she's not training to be able to fight a 6'5" guy or even a 5'10" guy. She's training to be able to fight somebody like Abby. And I'd be willing to bet you that that's going to pay off, because if she learns enough martial arts, even though she's smaller than the TV version of Abby, I think she's going to be a good, it'll be a lot more realistic.
It's progressive overload.
Exact. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
See,
Fair,
I
fair.
would agree with that, mostly that because like he is pulling his punches. The problem I have is right there because I'm looking at it right on HBO. She overpowers him right here, and he starts tapping out from pain. He's like He's like, and afterwards he's like this. He's holding his shoulder right there.
Well,
She overpowers him. That's
listen.
not throwing a fucking fight. There's no way in hell, even me at 5'6", that she's overpowering me. And I'm like, oh, please stop. It hurts too.
I mean, listen. I have been choked and armbarred by smaller female MPs who were a third my size, and they've managed to cause me some discomfort and pain if they get the right hold and stuff like that. It's not that far of a stretch of unbelievability. I mean, it's a little. I mean, they should have had her training with a smaller dude. I agree. Having him this big is a little ridiculous, and not even for the fact that in real life it would be ridiculous. The fact that the people watching the show who are normies, who don't do martial arts training and don't do any of that kind of stuff, are going to go, this looks so stupid, it's girl boss shit, blah, blah, blah. They should have had that in mind because they already have had so much pushback. The people should have been like, listen, we can't put 4-foot dwarf elf Bella Ramsey in with this Jack Reacher dude. We need to make it a little bit more believable. But again, you don't train with somebody that's your size. You train with someone who's way out of your league. That's the whole point.
Agreed.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll let it slide.
But the show should have like narrated that better.
I also agree with that. I think they should have, besides him just saying pulled punches and Joel was just looking out for it. I mean, I think one throwaway line of dialogue where the Asian dude pulls her aside and says, listen, you are getting too big of a head. Sorry, that no pun intended there. No pun intended. You're Ellie, you're getting too big for your britches, whatever. And you need to realize that this is training and this is not what a real standoff would actually be like, and a real, you need to understand your limitations. They actually did that in Reacher season 1 with a throwaway line, and that would have been just as where the female deputy is chastened by another cop who says, you ain't 6'5" Jack Reacher, you shouldn't be like weighing in and trying to like throw punches and do that. That ain't you're gonna get hurt really bad. So I think that I agree, a line of dialogue could have fixed that whole thing.
Yeah.
I just think people have culture shock over all of this because, quite frankly,
it's been shoved down our throats.
Agreed there. Yes, agreed.
As 6'4", 250 pounds, U.S. Army Military Police, formerly, I would grab her while she's on top of my arm, and I would body slam her into oblivion.
I 100% agree. I've had female soldiers when I was doing training.
So I'm with you, dude. It's like culture shock. Everybody's like, oh god.
Yeah.
Like, I broke
it's done so much for 10 years.
Yeah.
That people are sick of it, and then when it's actually done
agreed.
correctly ish, in that scene, people are reviled. It's like, oh no, girl boss thing. Not exactly, for all the reasons we just stated.
Yeah.
You think it would have been approached differently had it been a different actress, not Bella Ramsey? Because there's already a dislike for her to begin with, and then to have this scene and not the dialogue. If it was just
I think
actress,
it's narratively they didn't explain what Toxic and Ryan explained.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would actually probably shift that a little bit. Yes, because Abby is not she's not big Abby Pump, in the show. And again, yes, there was pushback about the divorcing, but she is somewhat believable. She's more believable than Bella Ramsey, in my opinion. Maybe it's just because I don't like Bella Ramsey for everything she's done, but I think this actress, who did get a lot of hate initially, I think she's doing a better job, in my opinion, for being somewhat the same size stature.
You talking about Kaitlyn Dever that plays Abby? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to see Nadia on the previous slide, but when they first showed Wyoming, and to the show, and I give them the credit, HBO, they spend money on this show. When they first show Wyoming and zooming out, the set design and the Wyoming, it seems like an actual like real place people would be living. It's one thing. This show, even season 1, it's a good looking fucking show. I would not debate that. Like this,
Mm-hmm. physical set pieces and stuff. That's what
Yes.
we should be doing. That's what
Yeah.
TV
Yes.
and movies should be doing. Green
So
screens.
is that
it
not
doesn't move on.
blue color? Is that not a is that a real? That's a real thing. It's not a matte painting or whatever they call it.
I mean,
I-
not even no more. But this looks like somebody just. This is a real town. I mean, doesn't look like a set piece by any means.
I really
There
don't
is a
know.
set piece. I think there's a main set piece, and then the background is added to it, and then like the other additional buildings are probably expanded out with like set
Right.
painting or something.
Yeah, and
but
you've done stuff like this, right, Nadia? Like this used to be what you would do, and
Yeah.
okay, so you would know.
This is what I went to school for. Initially was theater and film set design, but then I moved over to special effects makeup. But more than likely, don't quote me, but more than likely they have like the hall as a piece and alleyways as a piece, like an actual set piece, because you can see that in the next episode, especially with Tommy as he's like going through the alleys. But then probably the mass majority of the background, similar to the infected in the next episode, is probably added digitally into it and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Well, I am going to quote you because you're a subject matter expert, so just deal with it.
I'm not a subject matter.
We do scene too. The next scene before they show Joe, which is new to the show, is that they're hitting the pipes, and there's all these vines growing inside the pipes, which doesn't happen. Which I'm like, that is intriguing because what are they going to do with this now? Because that's a new element.
Yep. It's I'm interested to see if we get a little bit more of the threat of the infected. And I was looking, especially in the next episode. This episode 2 has one that's pretty cool, but the makeup design, even Joel's makeup design for the next episode, looks fantastic. I have no complaints.
You notice that they damn sure made Pedro look 5 years older. Like now he's wearing reading glasses.
Yes,
Joe doesn't
with
wear
the
reading
gray
glasses.
hair and the
lot more gray. His beard's more grayer on purpose, which is not complaining. But they made sure Joel's 5 years older, even though Ellie looks exactly the same.
Yeah. So the other thing I want to add, just along the settings, I've actually been to Jackson, and they made the town look very similar to the real Jackson.
Oh,
yeah, it was actually pretty cool. If
That's
anybody
awesome.
ever goes to Jackson, the $1 million, or what is it, the Silver Dollar Cowboy Bar, great steaks.
The girl who played Abby had her mom just die of cancer. That's true, and she used that anger.
Yeah, I saw that interview.
Well, that's not.
I mean, that's not good, but that's a good way to.
Hey, use it if you need it.
Yeah.
If you need it for the fuel for your thing, use
True.
it. I don't see a problem with that.
So this episode also explores Jackson's growth with the debates about accepting refugees. Joel argues that prioritizing the locals, revealing his protective instincts, and then the community's effort to maintain normalcy, like hosting a New Year's Eve party in this episode as well, which is similar to the game, I believe, right? There's a party that is it New Year's Eve that's also hosted? Yeah.
Now we see Dina. She's more diverse than she wasn't because she's Jewish in the game. It's even said that she's not Jewish in the show.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I like her. I don't have any complaints of the actress who plays her or who she is. Even with her relationship with Ellie, I don't really have a complaint. I think she's a pretty strong actress.
She's much better than Bella Ramsey, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I agree. Yep.
I'm just gonna change the title of this stream to "We all don't like Bella Ramsey," but here's our review. just something to that extent.
Wait, what? I love Bella Ramsey. She's so great.
But I feel Dina here has that daughter-father relationship with Joel that Joel is craving.
Yes,
from Ellie.
which is kind of annoying in a sense because there's no payoff. Because if they would stretch this out over the course of 5-6 episodes, this is maybe a 10-minute scene, and that's all we're going to get with Dina and Joel. I mean,
it's been a bigger payoff for the next episode if they had stretched it out. Because from my understanding, they switched where Joel was supposed to be out with Ellie in the game, and that's how they come.
Tommy.
It was Tommy.
Or Tommy, and then instead they added Dina. This
which wasn't a big issue. It's minor detail. So
I think it worked better. It works a lot better.
I actually agree with that. I think that she actually makes the scene better, in my opinion, because she over emotes, if that makes sense, and look, Pedro Pascal is fine. I like Pedro Pascal, but he's in everything. I think the scene is better because the two of them are in it, and that's just my opinion. So
I do like Gabriel Luna as Tommy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think you
absolutely.
do.
He's not bad. Yeah, I like him. I mean, I thought he was actually a really good ghostwriter too. Or
He
Ghost
was-
Rider. He was supposed to get
Who's
his own
Ghost Rider?
show. Yeah, he was in Ghost Rider Agents of Shield, which he was fantastic. And then they
Yeah,
I've never.
he's supposed to get his own TV show movie, and they fucked all that up.
that was like what season 5, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I like him. To me, he's believable as Joel's brother. Like that relationship is believable to me. The chemistry between the two of them.
Agreed.
I do have a note, Blue, where you were mentioning earlier, because I have foreshadowing threads, a subplot involving the cordyceps growing in the Jackson pipe. Noticing where the sparklers activated them, which plays into the next episode too. So we'll get through this, guys. We'll get through this first episode. There's not huge key moments in this, except the when Ellie and Dina go out and we get a new infected who's a lot smarter on it. We also get Joel going to counseling as well, which or therapy as they call it.
This scene it did annoy me because Tommy's wife, her argument with Joel, it's at the end, because he's being realistic, and anybody would know this. Hey, and I said this in my own review, it's one thing having a town with 50 people, having a town of 10,000 people, and the whole, like, you remember refugees, guys, 2025, America. Boy, you can't. Hey, remember, Joel, you're a refugee too, Joel. He's like, look, lady, there's only so many fucking resources here. Resources are finite. We can't keep letting endless people into our establishment. Eventually, crops, you can only grow so much and hunt so much. We're starving as it is. You want to let more people. Save the refugees. We got supplies, lady. This is the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. And also you have to also consider at this point, you have to take in refugees that's going to matter for the community and help the community. Like if there's a doctor in there, that's obviously somebody you want to. I'm not saying you got to pick and choose, but at some point, you're right. You're going to be in a worse situation.
The number one thing you need in any apocalypse scenario.
Yeah,
I would say.
Hook is like, yep, that's real pepper talk right there.
I gave myself away.
That's pretty true. I will say it's really interesting to see like some normalcy throughout this episode too. Yeah. Like they all have settled in, they all have houses, they all have electricity. There's just an impending doom outside. That's okay.
Like he says about the dial, the constructive dial. Joel, build faster. He's like, lady, I'm working 7 days a week and build faster. But God, calm down. He's like, yeah, we have to stop letting people in. What do you mean? I'm working 7 days a week, I can't keep up, and you're still doing more, Joel.
And Joel pays for his therapy session with skunk weed.
With weed.
Not a good look.
This is such a waste of Catherine O'Hara.
It is 100%.
I think it's a waste of a whole entire scene.
I agree. This really slogs and slows down the pace and makes. I mean, maybe there's some payoff to it later with the narrative, but I again, because I don't know anything about the games, I only watched like the cutaway scenes, so I wouldn't be completely blind when I've done reviews of this in the first season. But this really just drags down the narrative.
Oh yeah.
And more stuff that they're padding for. That's the problem, is because they are padding the runtime because this stuff wasn't in the game. And part of my criticism, I'm sure Paul and Ryan would know, that I didn't like some ways Joel was kind of, to my sense, watered down. Joel starts crying in this scene, and I'm like, Joel in the game never. As you're beating him to death, Joel doesn't cry. He's hardened, because and I'm not against some men crying, some men having PTSD, but the Joel we know is too jaded by the world to start having breakdowns, and now he's crying right now, and I'm just like he's crying.
He's much different in the show than in the game.
I don't like him saying basically, I saved my daughter's life and I'm crying because of it. Like,
I agree. I agree with all of you. Even with Toxic, like I can't see this paying off unless we get flashbacks, and then Ellie goes to Gail and like, was he a good man? And she's like, yeah, he was a good man. He talked about you all. That's like very typical, and I don't want that. I don't want that.
Also, Joel, you killed my husband. I hate you. Tell me all your secrets, but I hate you.
Yeah, that would. Go ahead. So sorry.
Did he kill her husband in the first season?
It's got to happen. It must have happened in between.
In the end of the first season.
Okay.
Considering this character isn't in the game, Nadia, we have no idea where this is going because she's not in the game.
Yeah, it's an in between from what I gathered, and she's like going, "You killed my husband, and I hate you for it." There, it's out in the air, and it's like going, okay, great. Like, yeah, I want to talk to
like,
you now.
Right. Yeah. That's the person you
Yeah.
want tinkering around inside your brain and having all your
Also-
secrets and
Yeah.
is she really gonna like stick to the whatever that oath is that
Hippocratic oath.
Yeah.
that is that the same thing when they can't tell your secrets if you go to a therapist or whatever?
I said,
Well, the sad thing is that she
like,
admits
confidentiality.
she's like, I'm not actually a medical doctor, right? You know, so a psychiatrist is a medical doctor. They push pills, right? As she says, push pills. She's a psychologist. They have
Good point.
no standards for not
Yeah.
saying.
yeah. The funny
Yeah,
part is
there's
therapists don't actually have to take the Hippocratic oath because they're not doctors, so they don't need to take one. That's just that's actually a moral question for them. That's a gray area.
psychiatrists do because they're medical doctors, which is why they can prescribe actual medication.
Yeah.
But psychologists, no.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
Regardless of any of that,
Yeah.
I mean, not all of
Sure,
that's
but-
bad, but it's like,
Yeah.
so I blew your husband
She
away
sucks.
for whatever reason. So,
Yeah.
please,
She sucks as a therapist.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
and I agree with you, Paul. It's a waste of her talent in this.
I mean, she's so
yeah.
good. Catherine
She
O'Hara has
is.
been around with us
Yeah.
forever.
And
Like, you just-
it just rubbed me the wrong way where she's like, okay, obviously tell me what happened between Ellie, and I'm not going to tell you that Ellie's immune and I killed some fireflies, but did you hurt her? Did you touch her? Did you do stuff to her? It's like, what are you insinuating, lady? Like that, another thing, like more knocking Joe down. Like the way she's like, well, did you hurt her? How? Hurt her how, lady? Like, do you mean, did they want safe sex? Yeah.
Did they add this scene because they wanted the audience to understand where he's coming from instead of actually utilizing the relationship with Ellie and maybe showing that throughout a couple episodes of him, being upset that he has this stuff bottled up? Like, is this a way for us as the audience to sympathize with him before he clocks out?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no clue what the purpose of this is.
That's the thing. Nobody knows what the purpose of this is. Like, we're not really getting much of it. We already know that the relationship is on the ends. As a gamer, if you played the game, you already know where this is going to and why their relationship it is. So I feel this scene, I don't get anything. I don't get any new information about Joel. I don't get any new information about the relationship he has with Ellie. Nothing.
Yeah.
It's just
it doesn't drive the plot forward.
Yeah, it doesn't at all. You're right.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll keep moving. This thing goes on for such a long time, too.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it really does.
I actually split it into 2 watchings because I couldn't do it.
No, so that scene starts at 22 and it ends at 29. So it's a 7-minute scene and it feels like a 70-minute scene.
It does. It does.
This crap. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Ryan.
This crap. They're like, hey, she's in charge. I don't know her name. I don't care. For them to be like, you want recon? We're gonna recon. We're just gonna go down the road. It's like, you know what? If this was the actual post-apocalyptic military, it's like, you listen to me or I put a bullet in you. Do you understand? That's the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Exactly.
I agree, but I think I'm a little bit more forgiving of it because I think with their fail-safe plan aside, I think that what we see, I think it gives us a lot of clues in this episode that this compound, whatever it's called, Jackson, has become complacent because they've had so long since an incident. Like, the people are just throwing the sparklers around and they're not checking the pipes for the cordyceps. And I really feel like they've gone a little soft. And, I think it's a situation where, because Joel is like, a tier 1, important person in the group. And so a lot of the things that him and Tommy say are very important. I think they cut Ellie too much slack and give her way too much, this whole gassing her up, hey, the other people look up to you guys and blah, blah, blah. I mean, you could credit that to just that the Asian dude is trying to like worm his way back into Isabela Merced's pants. Can't blame him for that. But I've seen soldiers go off and be way too full of themselves and way overestimate their own ability level and get into shit that they should not get into. I would have preferred a harsher payoff here. I would have preferred this to, but I mean, I guess they kind of did that in season 1 when her and the black girlfriend, were playing around and screwing around in that one place, and it ended in them both getting bit. So maybe they didn't want to redo that. I really don't know, but yeah, I just think it speaks to the complacency that the town has gotten to.
I agree with you. Hey,
Well,
Sketch.
plus, it's
up?
5 years of training too.
Yeah.
My favorite comment right there. What is up, golfers?
Oh, Sketch.
Too
I
soon.
love it.
Too soon. You're
Too
never
soon.
too soon.
I'd previously show a bottle of Bud Light product placement.
Yeah. Go ahead, Paul. You were saying.
I completely bugged out. I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All
I'm
good.
so sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Oh no, sorry. So
yeah.
so they've had 5 years. Like
Mhm.
what Ryan said, like, yeah, you follow orders or you put a bullet in your head. Like that should have been like part of the learning process over. Like there was basically no evolution in the character, their knowledge or experience in
Yep.
that missing 5 years.
I think
I
it demands too much of the audience to do too much headcanoning. I mean, you could say like, well, maybe earlier on when she was first introduced, maybe her and the other girl were kicking ass and they did a bunch of cool stuff. I mean, but if that's the thing, then at least give me a throwaway line or something. Don't just talk about, and like why are the other people looking up to you? Why do you get away? Why do you guys get away with it? Is it because Dina's banging one of the captains? Is it because Ellie is Joel's adopted daughter, and then in that way Tommy's adopted niece? Then say that. Then just give me some kind of reason why, because all they're doing is screwing and dicking around here, and it really, I was like, dude, you guys are not taking this very fucking seriously.
Do you guys think that she took the clicker out too easily? I was on the fence because part of me is like, well, it's been 5 years. She's probably been training, but the clickers, and you guys all watch season 1, the clickers, even Joel, and rightfully so, the clickers are fucking terrifying in the game and the show. She kind of easily took this thing down. And I'm like, she's been training, yes, but again, she's still very small. And like,
she hopped on its back. Like, are you serious?
Like a little monkey.
The things are like 3 times stronger than probably the strongest man.
Yeah.
It would probably go, all right, and throw her and just maul her to death. It was so stupid.
Yeah.
And then we have this. All right, here we go with this one.
Well, I do want to say, Nadia, I like the makeup job on this thing, whatever it is.
I do too.
Well, I do too.
The top almost looks like a crown, almost to me.
Yeah.
Across. I thought the makeup effects were great on this one, especially again the crown, and then the fact that it's a child almost. It's a young adolescent on it. So at first it does come off non-threatening, and then attacks. So there's clickers, and then there's also wait, hold on. I had this. What are the zombies in?
Well, the big fat ones are called bloaters. They're the ones that
bloaters.
Yeah. Episode.
It reminds me of. There's a zombie game that came out a long time ago.
Resident Evil 3 Nemesis.
No, not Resident Evil, but it had different versions. It had like a witch zombie. It had similar to like a bloater.
Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead. Yeah, I played the hell out of that game. So let's see. What kind of different zombies are there? Every type of infected zombies in The Last of Us. So there's stalkers, which are the ones with the cordyceps heads, but they're not like clickers, right? They don't have the clicker noise. They're not as evolved. So I think it goes stalkers, clickers, bloaters, and then we have shamblers, the Rat King, and Death.
Yeah.
In the game. So what is she then? Is she a stalker then?
It seems like because she's smart.
Yeah.
As the episode explains.
Yeah. She seems to be
I think you're right. Yeah, because she was stalking Ellie in the show. I don't know. I never played the second game.
I got to be honest, man. I one, I never played the game, and then 2 with
Runners is stage 1. Sorry.
It's okay. With this kind of stuff where there's different tier levels of zombie stuff really pulls me out of the story. It's like Zombieland 2, where they have the different categories of zombies, and I mean, at least then it's played for laughs. But this kind of stuff, I'm like, dude, I don't know, man.
Oh, yeah,
I like it.
She is considered a stalker. That's what this thing is for this show.
I missed the runners. I scrolled down too fast. But I actually like it for this show, particularly because it is a fungal infection and fungus
Yeah.
always evolves. So it makes sense that as it spreads, it's going to evolve depending on who it attaches it to, how long it's been around. It's going to
Yeah.
adapt to a
It's for
situation.
like
So it
varying
makes
degrees
sense.
of how long you've been
Yeah.
infected.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, Toxic. Like some shows, some games, some video, some even comics do this. Like there's this one, and then the next step is this one and this one. But this to me makes sense because it's based off a fungal infection.
Well, not to mention, I mean, it's obviously like Toxic and Naughty aren't the biggest gamers. If you're a gamer, if you're fighting one type of enemy for 10 fucking hours, it gets kind of dull.
Yeah.
So from a game standpoint, you have to have different
Assassin's
enemy
Creed.
types. Yeah, so that's got to transition into the show, obviously. But also with Walking Dead, I just watched the Negan Maggie show. For 10 seasons, it's the same fucking slow, stupid zombie for 10 goddamn seasons. Like, I don't mind them changing stuff up, you know.
I got a whole problem with Walking Dead.
Yeah,
whole
you know,
problem with
just
Walking Dead.
this fighting, but the same slow, stupid. At least these have different evolutions.
One thing we didn't mention, because I'm trying to run through this so we can get to episode 2, but the one thing we didn't mention is she does get bit here, and she does have to hide her immunity too, which doesn't make sense to me because I feel like they're in a safe community. They have trusting individuals, so wouldn't you want to tell them so that in case she does get bit, somebody doesn't put a bullet in her head right away?
Yeah, I'm of two minds with that. I think on the one hand, it's very possible that they're worried about someone else having the same idea as the Fireflies did and saying, you know, like let's take your brain apart and like make a cure. I think there's that, but I mean I know why Joel doesn't want to, because if he admits that she's, you know, got a cure inside of her, then he has to also admit what he did in Salt Lake. So I mean there's that. Maybe there's a reason, maybe she does it for the same reason. And as mad as she is at Joel, we know now at this point she does kind of know what happened. So maybe she's hiding her, you know, but then again, but then they shit on it in another part where she's just screaming it when she's around Tommy. I'm immune. So, you know, I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird, it's just a weird situation.
I also want to know if she's gonna have, well, she's a lesbian, right? Like she's full blown.
Yeah,
she's Lebanese, yeah.
But
surprise!
If she's immune,
Ellie's gay, by the way.
If she's immune, I would be interested
really?
to see, would her children be immune?
No, I think in the game, I remember that it's not really an actual cure. It's just like she got lucky by like a technicality, right?
Yeah, I always thought it was like Blade. Like, you know, it's not like vampires have never feasted on a pregnant woman. It was just that one thing that in time happened to come along, and Blade had the immunity. So I think it's just that. I think it's just a real, because otherwise, I mean, I remember people talking about like, well, why don't they just get a bunch of pregnant women and have them have babies and get bit? I'm like, I don't think that's a control group you can really do. That does not. I wouldn't get behind that. I think it's like getting hit by lightning. I think it's very. That's why I don't think the Firefly doctor was right, because I don't think there was a cure to be made out of her. I think it's just her that can do this. I don't think they were going to be able to mass market this cure from her.
And that was one thing in the game. The game, it's one of the things where she's immune. She just says that's it. The game never explains why, but of course the show had to do, like I said, the Blade thing, because at least the show, because some people are like, they're playing the first game, like, okay, I kind of sometimes like the fact that why is she immune? She just is. Sometimes we don't need too much explanation. She just,
well, that's a strike against the game right there.
I mean, I can understand it because maybe in a sense it doesn't have a happy ending, right? She's immune. That's great. There might be other people who are immune. It's just how the fungus evolves in the zombies. As us humans, we evolve because we're being threatened by being overtaken by this.
I read Stephen King's The Stand at a very young age, and they have that 1% of the population that's just immune to the virus.
Yeah.
And that's just it. I mean, whether they were touched by God or whether it's just people just have, some people are just going to be immune to stuff. I don't care either way. I mean, it doesn't really
They all drink from a hose. They all drank from a rusty hose growing up, like we all did, and that's why we all got better immune systems.
We
did.
Sort of like anti-family messaging, because like, wouldn't you want Ellie to breed with as many people as possible? That way,
breed.
I mean, he's not wrong.
You know what I mean? Like, so,
It's not like
to
she's
spread the immunity.
impregnating other people. She's got to go through it.
Oh,
no,
she's
no.
a breeder, that one. Oh, yeah.
What are we, Handmaid's
like-
Tale in this?
Kind of like, yo, you're
I love that
immune.
show.
Well, crikey, I want a shot at that. You know what I mean?
Let's bring that potato in here and let's plug her up as many cream pies as we can.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about this scene? Tommy's wife right here.
I hated it.
Tommy's wife
I
pissed me the
hate
fuck
Tommy's
off.
wife.
You know what?
thank you.
I actually like the scene because they believe her. That's the
Yeah.
only change
God
into
damn
it.
it.
Normally, it would be like, maybe she just saw something or made it up. No, they actually do believe them that there's
Yeah.
something going on around. So
I
I
don't mind Tommy's wife. I think they're like
True Blood.
character arc is fine.
I cannot stand her. I watched True Blood, and she is a massively over. She is insufferable in this show. She's a good actress too. I really think she is, and I think she's a good actress in the first season. But she comes off like this overbearing. I know what I'm talking about. Don't question me. It's just stupid. Why? She's like, I know that, you know, so and so is bullshitting, and that, you know, Ellie's telling the truth. That's like, all right, great. Like,
Well, it's
why?
like,
Because
Ryan,
you're a girl.
the line right here, Ryan, because like when Ellie's talking to Tommy, she goes, "And you're telling me what? If you were in jail, you wouldn't have gone in?" Tommy's like, "That's different." And the wife goes, "How?"
Yeah.
Tommy is ex-military. Tommy fucking was actually deployed overseas in the game
Yep.
and in the show. Joel is in his 50s. He's been battling zombies for 20 fucking years. So you tell me an ex-military has less experience than a fucking 19-year-old girl?
Yes. And that's what fucking bothers me. It bothers
and
me.
it's his
You know
wife.
what?
It's like you know Tommy's history.
Because again, if you have to put, and this is going to sound gross, if you have to put your scope or your sights on an actual human being, it takes a special kind of person to be ready to pull the trigger. Whether you pull it or not, it takes a special kind of person to pull the trigger. And she's like going, I don't know, she's like, that's different. It's like going, no, it is different. You know why? Because you don't know why. That's why it's different.
They don't even seem like they're married. I don't see any kind of
you're right.
connection.
The chemistry's not there. The
No,
chemistry between the two actors.
I don't see it. I'm just, you know, I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good.
So
I prefer her more in True Blood. That's all I'm going to say.
I do too. I love True Blood. It's one of my favorite shows.
I do too.
Okay, we're gonna wrap this episode up. It ends similar to the game at the New Year's party where Ellie and Dina share a kiss, and then there's obviously a bigot who's like, "Not these lesbians around here."
he said not to
And Joel intervenes violently.
He said bike, but with a D.
Yes,
Yeah. And then Ellie rejects Joel's help in it, shouting, "I don't need your fucking help," in front of the town, and then deepening their rift between the two of them.
Now, I'm not mad at Bella because Ellie does that in the game as well. So that's right from the fucking game. It's like Ellie's treating Joel like shit all throughout the game.
So that would be the end of this episode. Go ahead, Ryan.
No, you're good. You're good. No, it's it is in line with the game. Again, you know, she's alive because of Joel, which makes her more unlikable in the second game than Joel by far. He lied, yes, but for her to be like going, you know, what the hell is your problem and blah, blah, blah. You're alive because of him. You'd be dead. Nobody cares, dude. Like, he cares. And
gratitude has a very short shelf life, my friend.
Oh, absolutely. It's like you could save somebody's life, but if you do it in a way where it's, you know, it inconveniences this person, like, you're the villain and they make you the villain. But that's good storytelling. So that one I actually like.
An umbrella is only needed when it's storming outside. When the sun comes back out, an umbrella is just an added weight.
So, notable changes from the game. Abby's early motives. In The Last of Us Part 2, Abby's reason for hunting Joel is revealed later, making her initial actions more shocking. The show introduces her vendetta up front. And then original content, Joe's therapy with Gail, the cordyceps in the pipe subplot are new additions expanding the world. Stalkers introduced early. Stalkers appear earlier than in the game, heightening the infected threat. And then the dance scene, the barn dance scene from the game is reimagined as a New Year's Eve party with the same emotional beats. Ellie and Dina's kiss, Seth's bigotry, and Joe's intervention. So those are the changes in it. Just quick go around of what we thought of the episode, and we'll get into episode 2. We might run over a little bit, but if you guys can't stay for the full, just let me know.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
starting next week, we're going to do one episode at a time. I just want to catch up with these two. Paul, initial thoughts on this first episode for season 2?
So I thought it was a slow burn. There was like everybody's already mentioned, a lot of like unnecessary story threads that maybe they'll bring it back with like more therapy sessions, and Pedro Pascal has further episodes of screen time. I do like Abby. I think she's like the best part of it, both in look, acting ability, character, etc. I wish, like everybody said, that there was like more narrative, like explaining, hey, this is like my dad that Joel shot. So I thought that part was clunky. I forget exactly, was it the second episode that she said that it was her dad?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was just a slow burn. It was mid.
Fair enough. Yeah. I think it's just a setup episode. Blue, initial thoughts.
Yeah. Said, as I said before, excellent show. I mean, excellent, well-looking show. She looks great. Acting, nobody's acting bad. My problem is when the actors are acting. But we have Joel. He's being more emasculated. He's being talked down to, shit on, crying. Tommy, his own fucking wife, is not on his side. And just like we have these plot threads that are going to go nowhere. The scene with Dina and Joel really makes no sense. And yeah, the choreography scene with Ellie and the guy, president, the stunt double, but just they're fluffing this out more for no reason. But I just don't know why you just crapping on Joel and Tommy that much more, and I don't get it. But yeah, I mean, I didn't hate it, but just it feels like more they're fluffing stuff up and they shouldn't be. Get to the meat of what we're doing. Didn't hate it. It does follow the game, but it keeps adding more stuff, just pounding down Tommy and Joel. I don't know why they're doing that for. So
yeah, yep, I agree. Toxic.
I mean, I don't dislike the episode, but I mean, it's really weak tea compared to season 1, so it's it's not my fave. It was a bit of a slog to get through. All of the things that I mentioned earlier are still true. I agree with Blue on that. The stuff that he said, I believe, Paul is also spot on with what he said. I don't disagree with either of those guys. I think after I watched all the DCL or DLC or whatever it's called, the cutscenes for this, I think they do it better in the show than they did in the game. As far as that goes, I like Isabela Merced. I like Kaitlyn Dever. Kaitlyn Dever in her 2 minutes is better than anybody else in the show and in the rest of the hour-long show or whatever. So make of that what you will.
Okay. Ryan?
I don't hate the episode. I really don't. Do I like it compared to what happened in the first season? No. Yes, Joel and Tommy are literally, they're just sidelined in the worst way. And I think that they did this to Joel because they're setting up for what's going to happen. So it's like, maybe in their minds, they're like, well, he deserves it. Well, no, he doesn't deserve it. Because quite frankly, and yes, I actually like Abby drastically better than the game version. I do miss Big Abby Pump. But anyway, it's just one of those things that I don't get it. You're trying to explain why Joel is this like awful person. He lied. He lied once. Well, he lied, I guess, technically twice, about the reason that he saved her life, and she hates him for it. And she has carried this for 5 years. I'm like, I need a little bit more. Like maybe she was like, "Oh, Joel, I'm remembering things like going, "Are you sure?" And it's like, no, you don't get any context to that. I need more context. But it's just like he's a horrible person, and he lied to her. So great, he's like what? He touched her or something like that, in the whole therapist thing. I don't like that. It's like, really, like, where are you going with this? It's stupid.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do maybe that gets paid off. I have literally no clue. And if I was kind of hoping one of the gamer guys was gonna tell me, but I guess it's not in the game either. So I don't know. I don't know what to think
You're
about
not
that.
gonna get. You're not gonna get payoff. Trust me.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
sometimes
I don't
it's
think so.
good and bad. But yeah, we're kind of lost into what they're gonna do next.
Yeah, I this episode on a technicality, it looks beautiful. It's well shot, it's well paced, it's well edited, all that stuff. However, it did not make me excited for the second episode. I was not sitting down on Sunday making time for it. I saw it, I think, Monday night or Tuesday. I waited it out a little bit. Like the episode basically did not make me want to binge this and make me want to like excited to see the next season. So that next episode, even though knowing what was coming after seeing everybody's comments on it, and especially Blue likes to spoil things early. So
I mean, my friend
just for this, because I was pissed off.
One of my friends who actually lives in Vegas, he was saying, yeah, just get through the first episode, slow burn, because the second episode is a lot more action. I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yes, I think a lot of their VFX shot. I think the quote I had about the VFX shot is about the second episode. It's interesting because the second episode, as we get into it, is a really well done episode.
Oh,
very
100%.
well done.
Yeah.
I agree.
Except for a couple minor details, but I was overly happy with it. That being said, where do we go from here? Because I can't see.
Well,
so
we know where it goes.
I
Wait, hold on. So I never played the second game. Does Ellie hook up with Abby?
No.
Okay.
No, but Abby hooks up with somebody.
Okay.
I don't want to tell you what Ellie does. Ellie has the chance to literally make everything right.
Yeah.
In the statement she makes in the second episode and in the game, and she doesn't.
Yeah.
She doesn't. I'm sorry.
We'll see.
I don't care who you are. I don't care what your story is. If you murder somebody I love, your ass is you're gonna get something. Right. You're gonna get something, and it's gonna be real ugly. And it's gonna be what Abby says that she wants Joel to feel, but you get none of that. Well, I did spoil it. Sorry.
I will say with that scene with Abby though, I feel Joel could have been explained like, yeah, I shot your dad, but he was going to kill my daughter.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. No, he couldn't. He couldn't.
Because then he would have to admit that she's immune, and then just all these things. So he was at the end, he's still protecting his daughter. It's dumb, to be honest. All right, Through the Valley is the second episode. As the storm brews in the mountains, the people of Jackson Hole prepare for the worst amid increased sightings of the infected. Meanwhile, Abby weighs her opinion. Now, by the way, episode 1 of season 2 was rated 7.5 on IMDb. Episode 2's got a 9.5. That's pretty high for an episode of TV. It's not a bad episode. I don't think it's a 9.5 episode.
I think it's horseshit, if you want my honest opinion. And I'm gonna agree with what Rachel says. They follow the story. This show is cooked. This is literally The Walking Dead again, with Glenn being just beaten in the head. The ratings are gonna tank. The game sold 10 million copies. Woohoo! Like literally 10 million copies total. And so no, this season is going to
makes me beg the question: is this going to get renewed now?
No, I don't think so.
Third season.
I thought they already signed. I thought it's already signed for a third season. I thought
the ratings drop. Like HBO's run by slightly less stupid people than Disney is. So if the ratings drop too much,
I thought they would. Sorry, Nadia. Go ahead.
Normies gonna, and I hate to call them normies because just people who don't review it and look at it from a technical point of view like we do sometimes are gonna eat this shit up though. They love this kind of stuff. Like what else is out there?
I like it.
That's toxic. But I do too. But I'm just saying, like, this. We are looking at it from an analytical point of view because we know what the game is, we know the story beats, we know stuff. But people who are just like my sisters will watch this and love
people
it.
who just like good shows,
or just visually like it. They don't really care about, in a sense, where the
I want to put
story is
something
going
out there
and
real
stuff.
quick. Just I don't want to drag us down, but I want to put something out there in reference to I've heard a lot of comparisons to The Walking Dead, and I get it, but it's a faulty comparison, and here's why. That did not go downhill after Abraham and Glenn were killed. It went down because the showrunner of that, I forget his name, he was obsessed with this thing called boomerang storytelling, where he would go one narrative and then he would completely bogo to another narrative. So like after Glenn and Abraham are killed, they started going backwards in time to start showing you what happened with God, I forget his name, the black guy with the staff, and started showing us his thing, and he did that. He burned that narrative down way too much. He became so reliant on boomerang storytelling that people just were like, and you got to remember that you couldn't binge Walking Dead back then. You had to wait a week, so you're sitting there waiting 2-3 weeks, and plus they all the goodwill was burnt up with the kneeling scene, because then they left that on a cliffhanger and no one knew what was happening for 6 months. Now, granted, that's better than what we get now, where Stranger Things is a 3-year jump between each thing. So, I mean, yeah, it's better in that way. But the boomerang storytelling and then leaving people on a cliffhanger, that's what killed that show. Not the because everybody who read the comics knew that was coming regardless.
But that's
you're talking about a small amount of people that read the comics. And look, I actually don't disagree with anything you said, literally. The problem is that there's a bad taste after what happened, and they're comparing The Last of Us season 2 with what happened to Joel to that, and there's already a bad taste going forward. People are not they're not looking for this crap of you shock and awe and kill the characters off. Now, if you played the game, you understand. And look, I was one of those people. I was like, literally, I'm like, do it, just do it. I thought they would like wait for they would end on season 4 and they would do it like the beginning of season 3. No, they didn't do that. I was like, just do it. And then when they did it, I was like, holy shit, they did it. Yeah. So people are sour on this kind of stuff, and there's going. No, they really, I really think they are.
So by that rationale, then everybody should have stopped watching Game of Thrones and the penultimate episode of season 1.
No. Game of Thrones actually fell off around. Well, Game of Thrones is the one that did it initially, but Game of Thrones started falling off viewers around season 6.
Right. So you can't have it both ways. So if what you're saying is this kind of thing sours people on a show, killing off the main character, then why didn't Game of Thrones? Why did it wait to start falling off in season 8 instead of the penultimate episode? You mean season 6, season finale, in season 1? Why? When Ned was killed, why didn't that ruin the show right there? If that's what people don't like,
because Game of Thrones is the first one to do it. Like you can't copy my homework and then be like going, I don't understand why I didn't get the same grade. I don't agree that Game of Thrones is the first thing that ever did that. I'm sure I could find examples off the top of my head. I can't think of any, but I'm sure I could find examples. I mean, right off the top of my head, I can tell you that Sarah Connor Chronicles did the same exact thing. Midway at the very beginning of season 2.
But Game of Thrones is more impactful for a wider audience than the Sarah Chronicles. That is a niche kind of audience that will watch that, versus Game of Thrones. Like, my mother was watching Game of Thrones. Like, everybody was watching Game of Thrones after season 1. So I feel like you can't make the comparison there.
I mean, it's hard because many people could say that Game of Thrones, yes, Ned dying did shock a lot of people. From a narrative standpoint, it made sense. Also, Game of Thrones has a very big cast, and Robert Kirkman did say this. He admitted this to everybody. Him killing Glenn, he just did it. He just did it just for shock value, and that's what people felt with Neil Druckmann. It's like, listen, people didn't have a problem that Joel died. It's like he just killed him. Like, he literally dies the first hour of the game, and the way he dies is so It just felt like you're just doing it to do it. Like if Joel's gonna die, make it make sense versus just like, oh, I'm just gonna kill him just to piss you guys the fuck off, which he did to his fans. The ratings went down, sales went down, reviews went down. Like make it make sense why Joel died for not that Joel died. And like even with Ned dying actually made a point. The point was, Ned, you're being kind and you're not playing the Game of Thrones the right way. That's why you're dead and Tyrion's alive for it, because Tyrion knows how to play the Game of Thrones.
Also, Game of Thrones, like you said, bigger cast, but also strong actors on those casts too. Versus here,
I won't argue with you there. No, yeah, you're
couple there to hold the show. Yeah. But no, now the prediction I have for this is we're gonna get a fucking bunch of flashbacks. We're gonna get an episode of flashbacks. We're gonna get a filler episode of flashbacks.
It's exactly what that show Paradise did with James Marsden.
But they should have just used this season. Give us a little bit of Joel and Ellie's relationship through the 5 years. Even if you want to do that flashbacks, but like I said, let us follow Abby. Let's expand on that. And then I think Joel should have gone maybe the last episode of the season, beginning of the next season. It makes sense. But now instead we're doing reverse. We took Pedro off the board, which a lot of people in the chat are right. A lot of people watch this show, don't have no clue what Last of Us was because of Pedro. And now Kaitlyn, I love her as Abby. I think she's a great actress. I watched her in Last Man Standing. That's where I know her from. The Tim Allen TV show that was run. I like her, but I don't think just having her in certain scenes is great, but I don't think there's an actor on here that could hold this like Pedro could.
Well, on that one I agree, but I don't get it. I thought everybody's getting sick of seeing Pedro Pascal.
But normies aren't.
I don't disagree with that. But at the same time, he's star power.
Yeah, we are. Like, but everybody, bro, there is like, I get my Twitter feed of girls like Pedro, Daddy, all this. Like, people love him.
I don't get that. What the hell?
Normies, Hook's got it. Normies, I hate to use that word, but normies love Pedro Pascal, and it's just, I don't get it, but they do. And yes, I see you, Roman. I'm taking up golfing.
People said,
hey, Roman, what's up, buddy?
Pedro's just white enough to keep him, his cast as white characters, but he's just diverse enough to keep him as diverse. He can do both worlds.
Yeah, and everybody's sick of him. But people have to understand, he's been in the industry for a very long time. This is his big break. I get it. And it's not him. It's these studios that are offering him these jobs. Yes, he is taking them. But no offense, the dude worked his ass off for, 50 years? And now he's being offered all these main roles and leads and stuff. He's going to take. Are you
trying to tell me that season 4, episode 1 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where he played the random kid that got turned into a vampire?
Shut up. He was on Buffy.
What? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. He's been in TV and movies for a very long time. People think, oh, it's just Game of Thrones. No, he had a lot of roles before that. A lot of passing characters and stuff. It's just gotta understand. Like, it's granted.
Rachel says, "Shut up."
I don't like him as a person. I don't like him as a person. But it's not on him completely that he's getting all of these roles. Like, again, he's a working actor, so he's going to take things, and studios see that he's booming, so they're going to give him Fantastic Four. They're going to give him Last of Us. They're going to do all this.
I just think that, after listening to Open Bar earlier today, I just feel like everybody wants to have it both ways, and there's just a maliciousness to this. I spoke about this on, Blue and I have been friends for a long time, but we've been really going at each other in the private chats groups and stuff. And I think there's a maliciousness to this that you didn't see with The Walking Dead, that you didn't see with Game of Thrones, that you didn't see with The Rookie when they killed off the lieutenant. I think, people who read the books.
I was pissed about that. The Rookie, by the way.
Yeah. People who read the people who read the books and people who read the comic book for Walking Dead, they didn't, like, as the series went on, they weren't going, ooh, wait till the bat gets Negan gets Glenn. That's really gonna fuck people up on this. They're not gonna want to watch this show no more. Wait until Ned gets his head chopped off. Then people are gonna really hate Game of Thrones. But with this game adaptation, man, just like, oh, you guys that like this show, wait till the golf club comes out. It's just this real petty maliciousness that I'm just not in effect. I'm almost going to want to watch it and advertise it, even if I don't like it, just to piss people off more who are being really petty about this thing. Cause it's it's just kind of gross, and it's really cringy to listen to people just be like, you have some foreknowledge of some stuff, because I've read books that people didn't even know were books that were turned into movies and TV shows. I don't get on there and go, ooh, wait till this happens, then you're gonna really be sorry. Like, what is that? What do you, dude? If I like the show, I like the show. None of your bullshit is gonna make me not like the show.
Everybody doesn't have to like the same things. Nobody's gonna like the same things. And I'll tell you right now, as a Walking Dead, as a fan of the comics, most people who I know who were the fan of the comics after season 4, they left. They're like, this doesn't match up with what I love out of the comics. We knew what was coming down the pipeline, but it just didn't work for us anymore after season, for majority. Now there could be a Walking Dead fan out there that's like, fuck you, Nadia. I love the comics. I love the show. I'm like, give me more zombies kind of deal. But I don't think nothing's going to make everybody happy. And I think a lot of shows are trying to get that cultural impact that Game of Thrones had. And I only use Game of Thrones as an example because it's one of the most recent ones where water cooler talk was back. People were going to screenings at bars to watch episodes with their friends, and like, even if you didn't read the books or you weren't big into TV or fantasy, everybody was talking about this show, so you were getting into it. And I think people have been trying to capture that, and we haven't. And I agree with you, Toxic. Like, I don't think people should be like, wait till the golf scene, you're not gonna like the show. People are gonna like the show, or they're not gonna like the show. It's always, people are gonna be trolls all the time. We're almost at 2 hours and we haven't even got into this episode. Go ahead, Brian.
I was gonna say I want to piggyback off of what Toxic said and Nadia. No, dude, I 100% agree with you. As somebody, no joke, as somebody who got into it with Mahler on Twitter over the Fallout show, and he's like,
oh boy,
I'm a big Fallout fan. Like, and I'm like, dude, but you don't understand that Fallout's campy. It has all these things about it. Like, and you're so critical. I'm like, did you actually play the games? You said you did, but did you really? Because you don't like that. Now, I had massive criticisms all over the Fallout show, because the Fall of Shady Sands, I have a lot of problems with that. It takes place before the events of New Vegas. But as somebody who criticized Mahler, dude, I got jumped on like it was a hand grenade. It was like this, that, like, oh, you're a fake fan, like going, oh, I'm like, this cult mindset. I get it, dude.
But did you get more followers?
Well, yeah. I mean, I look, and again, I get it. This cult mindset. Look, I love me some Gary. I love me some Geeks and Gamers. It's one of the reasons I started YouTubing. But I don't need to agree with everything they say. And if you agree with some of them, dude, I get it. But the thing is, I think where you're, and I understand, the game really pumped the bunk. It really did. And Neil Druckmann was such a Deutschbag about all of it that he gets what he deserves. I'm sorry. And that's why a lot of us that played the games and know what happened, we're like going, just wait for this. You're going to see.
But I didn't play the games, and I knew what was coming down the pipeline, but I was still interested in seeing the show. And like with Fallout, I didn't play the games, but I really liked the show because it was a well done, told show with well done acting and story and stuff. It's just, I think I agree with you, Ryan. I think there is almost like a mind hive mindset, especially maybe in YouTube communities, of like, if somebody says one way, that's how it goes. I always encourage people to see the movies, see these things through your own lens and make your own thing. And I had to go through that with Barbie a couple of years back. So I completely agree, and I always welcome people to come on if they disagree with me or they agree with me or whatever. But this hive mindset is just, it's killing quality TV movies, because now we're arguing about the golf scene in Last of Us, and people are picking up that instead of maybe going seeing original movies or original TV shows that maybe don't have big starring actors that might have good stories. It's taken away from the little guy. So all right, we're at almost at 2 hours. Let's go. It's a long episode, but there's only a couple key moments, right? So we don't have to go through.
Go for it.
Opening scene, we get Abby's flashback. So this episode begins with Abby walking through a dark hallway in Salt Lake Hospital, haunted by the memory of her father's death. caused by Joel in season 1. Spoilers, no spoilers. If you didn't know that already, I'm sorry. The dreamlike sequence establishes Abby's motive for revenge, showing her grief and determination. A second version of Abby warns her not to enter the room where her father body lies, hinting at her internal conflict here. So this was the opening scene. I think so well done. Again, she's great. She's great. I'm interested to see where she goes from this point.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things. We're going to talk first about the infected attack on Jackson, because that's one of the bigger ones. So during this time, Ellie and what's the Asian kid's name?
Jesse.
I can't remember. Jesse are on patrol. A bunch of people are on patrol. They're all on patrol because I think there was somebody said that they saw the infected using dead bodies to almost insulate themselves in the snow.
That's what Jesse says to Ellie.
Yeah. So they're trying to figure out what is going on. So a bunch of them, there's this really horrible snowstorm coming in.
Winter's coming.
They're told, the patrollers, hey, find shelter. If you can't make it back, find shelter. So a couple of them do go find shelter. So Ellie and the kid find shelter in a 7-Eleven that grew pot, I guess.
Yeah.
And then Dina and Joel actually find Abby, save Abby in a scene too.
It's a big ass 7-Eleven, by the way.
Yeah,
that was a huge 7-Eleven. Yeah,
that looks like a fucking Walmart. Like, really? Sorry. But it's 7-Eleven. They're not that big.
Does in the game does Joel save Abby in the game too? I don't know.
That again, to the credit, the entire sequence with her being chased in the fence, that is shot for shot right from the game. I was impressed by how actually it was truly shot for shot. Like, wow, good job.
I also like that scene just because it's like she didn't do anything that stupid. It was just one of those kind of she was trying to get a better vantage point, and then I think Drinker was a little too harsh on her for this. She's just trying to get on a better vantage point. She just slipped, and I think that could have happened to anybody. So, I didn't think it was that bad as far as that goes. And then her landing in the middle of it was just really bad luck that she landed in all the frozen clickers. Tundra, I guess they are. Or...
Yes, but so she is military, right?
Military.
Fine. You guys have been in the military. If you're out traipsing around mountains in Wyoming without an axe, like what? And I'm talking not the wood chopping kind, but like an ice axe to self-arrest on a steep gradient. You're a fucking idiot.
Well, I've never.
Well, would she have access to one?
Like she's trying to dig in regular old boots. I'm like, she'd be dead.
She did do it right. I'm gonna be honest with you. So you take your hands, right, and you have to you chop in as if almost it's like this, and then you dig your boots in, and it's 3 points of contact always.
3 points of contact.
She did do it right in a sense. Part of the show. All right. I mean, it's in an emergency situation. Right, and so
you're not going to self-arrest on your own without an axe.
Yeah, no.
In that position, and if I didn't have my axe, I wouldn't be talking to you right now.
Yeah, no, it's so. I mean, I do understand what they're doing, but at the same time, I have a problem with the fact that she slid so fast. It's like 1 foot slipped, and she just went whoosh. No, I don't agree with that. So no, I'm with you, man. I get it.
I've never been to war with.
I just had a problem with like the technicality and like the choreography of it.
Yeah, I've never been to war with Wyoming. I give it a little grace just because
that's funny.
She looks like I mean, Kaitlyn Dever can do so much with her facial expression. She looks like one of those people that, oh, I fucked up. I just made like she looks like she realizes it mid doing it that she
I'm
just.
I'm not knocking her at all. It's just the choreography. And the character, not the actor, the character's choices, given the fact that she has military training, to have gone outside without an ice axe or some sort of self-arrest tool.
No, I agree.
It doesn't make sense.
Could you maybe headcanon that she's so wet off the thought of catching Joel maybe out on a patrol that maybe she overreached and made a rash decision?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I would say definitely possible. My issue is, again, it's winter in Wyoming, and it's I live in Colorado. There's mountains,
Yeah, my
snow.
favorite state.
It's cold, okay? Like, and there's a lot of snow. If you're gonna go climb mountains in the snow, there's things you bring, right? And that's the best way to put it. So
Yeah.
what Rachel says, because of velocity or the slope,
Possible
possibly.
them 14ers, man.
Yeah, I think it's because of the sake of plot, in my opinion.
I agree.
mean-
I agree. Because then, how would Joel save her from this
Right,
massive?
yes.
I think it's a good
infected-
scene. I like scenes where, especially in a supernatural or whatever. I always think it's interesting when the character winds up in a like a huge it's like the Ripley scene in Aliens where she walks into the nest by accident while she's trying to get Newt out of there. I always think that's kind of a cool thing, and I thought this was actually pretty terrifying. I was like, are they just gonna kill her off and go in another direction with the show, or like, because I was like, dude, she don't look like she's getting out of this. So
Oh, there it is.
I like how she hit the wall and got on that ladder, and that was dope. But then she also kind of slips a little and then has to kick one of them, and it gave a lot of realism, like these things that are like literally killing themselves to get through the fence to get to her because they're so hungry. Like that was pretty cool.
That was a good like sequence.
Yeah, I pulled this up because I fucking stood up for this. This is great effects right here. This is a great fucking effect.
I agree.
Right here.
Yeah, I seen that. It was cutting
effects.
to his. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. I was like, oh, that's gotta hurt really, really bad.
Yeah, but they're zombies, so they don't care, right? That's the thing. It's
Yeah.
like they're just hungry and they want her, so they'll do whatever to get to her. So,
But that's kind of like the same thing that Nadia was saying, and I think that's really awesome because it actually makes it more dangerous in a sense for the viewer, because that's one of the only scenes that I was like going, holy shit, like, and the fence is crumbling, and I was like, okay, I'm feeling a little bit of that claustrophobia, excuse me.
yeah, good scene.
Now, Joel saves her and takes her to their little where they can stay
Lodge.
kind of
The lodge.
kind of like catch their breath, right?
Yeah.
And she then finds out that this is Joel by Dina calling out to him and putting two and two
Yeah.
together.
Joel. Which again,
Yeah.
in the game,
much better than the game, because I have seen the game cut scenes, and I agree with Drinker did a review on it a few years ago, and it just makes Joel and Tommy seem very stupid. And this having him with Dina works on a lot of levels because it's another teenage girl that he's protecting, so his focus is away from like possible other threats because he's worried more about Dina. And then because they get there and he sees that the town is on fire, he's more thinking of that, and he's distracted and he's not reading the room, so to speak. He doesn't realize the hornet's nest that he's walked into.
Yeah, definitely. The way the game, the biggest complaint in audio was like how Joel, especially in the first game, he smells a trap when he's with Ellie when they go to jump them. He so easily walks into this fucking trap. Like it's this shit's embarrassingly bad.
It is, and I will say Kaitlyn conveyed on her face pretty well like what was going on behind her, thinking that she finally figured out this was Joel. So I love that she like the audience knew by just the look on her face that she was putting shit together. Like she was ready to stab him right then and there. She was looking for a weapon at that point, watching her eyes move around. So we get to one of the pinnacle moments of this episode, which is the attack on Jackson. I just want to say, written to provide ongoing character conflict and motivation, it was filmed almost 4 weeks and required over 600 visual effect shots, around 100 extras, a dozen stunt performers. And the director was more nervous about Joel's death, which the writers felt was appropriate in the second episode as is established the season's story. So take for what you want. But I thought this was really well done. I know they used CGI for obviously some of these zombies are CGI'd in. Like, I mean, you can tell
these guys are not going to have like 5,000 extras.
Yeah. Though I'm sure a ton of people would be like free extras on this show. They'd be like, yeah, I'll come up. I get a look at Pedro Pascal. But what I liked about this is that again, like I said earlier, they use their resources. They're not dumb. They like barricade the doors with cars, but then they put tractors and cars in front of those cars, and then they use the little blocks to stop them from rolling.
Yeah, they had a very good contingency plan thing going on.
Yeah,
I agree.
And it's not like they're just kind of shooting off the hip. They know, hey, elderly and children and women who can't fight in the basements, we're gonna lock you there. Everybody else, the roof. Yeah. Like they practice this, and it
they acted logically.
Yes. Where I think in any other show I've seen where it's like zombies attacking, it's always in the heat of the moment. They're trying to figure it out. They, people are dying and stuff, and you can actually feel the impact with Tommy towards the end when it's towards the end of the attack and all the bodies. Yeah. But there's also bodies of their people too laying out there, and the impact of his body language, really I could feel it through the screen, which I thought was really well done. I will say pretty cool character effects for the bloater, even though I think the bloater is probably a guy in a suit and then CGI'd over it too.
Yeah,
I thought they explode. Do they not explode?
They're supposed to usually, but it depends on how you kill them. But
yeah.
I also liked this shot where they had all the used ammo on the floor, showing like they're going through stuff. There's this is real in a sense in this world. Like
I'll say that in my review. This basically battle sequence starts at 29 minutes. This is a 12-minute battle sequence, and it's non-stop. And I'm like, you know what? As much as I have criticism for the show, this shit's fucking awesome.
Oh yeah,
this is very well choreographed.
Part of the second season, 100%.
Yeah, I agree. It made me want a flamethrower even more. So
my only criticism is that when they launched the barrels, which I think was awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
You threw torches. Do you not have guys that have bow and arrows? Literally a compound bow with a literally.
Oh yeah.
It's just okay. I mean,
I've always wondered in stuff like this, like why they don't use incendiary rounds? Like it would make a lot more sense to I mean they're not
dragon fire.
Are they difficult to make?
No, there's a thing. When you go to boot camp, you get a thing called tracer rounds. You put one tracer round in your magazine for every two of hardball, and what it does is you do night fire exercises, and it shows you the trajectory of a bullet, so you can understand better how that works. So cool. So when you see them lighting up, also it helps you keep it on a target. We used them a lot in Iraq when we get attacked at night. I keep a mag full of tracer rounds so that I could light up a car, and then the other soldiers could follow my stream of bullets towards the target. So, but you have to be careful with them because they'll hit things and set them on fire.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Because they're phosphorus, right? So talks. I think that the people probably watching on the panel. So if you see rounds at night, say you see a movie or something like that, and you see gunfire, and you see do, and it's like it's literally a bullet that literally leaves a light trail. That's a tracer round, and it's phosphorus. It's Anthony says Willie Peter. Well. So anyway, it's something that literally lights, and it's very, very flammable.
Yeah,
I've only ever seen Dragonfire. That's the only one I've ever seen.
Yeah, well, that's a little more Hollywood, the Dragonfire thing. But if you threw a bunch of flammable elements onto, I think they're dropping fuel onto these things. You do that, and then you hit them with a couple tracer rounds. They're gonna light up like a fucking Christmas tree. Boom. And I realize they're in a zombie apocalypse, but I feel like you could still have some tracer rounds laying around. I mean, there's literally Connexes full of them at military bases, and I just feel like that would be a really good weapon against zombies, vampires, shit like that. I mean, the only thing that's bad about them is whatever you hit, they're gonna light shit on fire. So you have to be really careful with how you use them. But if it's just a wall of zombies, go for it.
Yep.
Yeah,
agreed.
I agree. Here's our bloater. Here's our big boy.
Yeah.
Our big boy. Very cool.
Obviously, who's got the cops coming for him right now?
I can hear.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's me.
No, you're
bad.
You're fine.
I live in a major metropolitan center called New York.
My bad.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I feel bad for you. because you live there. God bless.
Oh,
No, seriously.
believe me, I am looking to move to Colorado like as soon as humanly possible.
Well, if you want to direct message me, I have some great places you could look. So,
I
the
love
bloater
the 14ers,
really,
man.
the bloater really bothered me, and this is the reason why. Because they let him come all the way to the gate, all the way to the fence, and he just punched through it. I'm like, is nobody shooting? Does nobody
Right.
see
I was
this?
Yeah,
waiting
that's a good
for Tommy to make it direct and direct his fire and be like, listen, hit this motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't get that. You know, it just
I don't
seems
know either.
really it was weird.
Yeah, it's just to make the plot move forward with
Plot
them breaking
contrivance,
through.
yeah.
Also, they want to show a
plot
kick-ass
armor.
scene with him flamethrowing this thing down. I
Oh,
did like
nice.
the fact that it took an entire like as he's backing up where you see the tank going 100, 90, 80, 70, like, oh fuck, he's backing up, holding it. Like,
I do have a
mean,
question
Yeah, that was
for you,
awesome.
Ryan, and toxic
sir.
military guys. From my point of view and my experience with guns, everybody seems pretty like realistic of how they utilize firearms in this universe. As I even go back to season 1 with Bella Ramsey when she was like cocking the gun a certain way and stuff. Do you guys find that, or do you see any major issues with it?
It's not bad. It's
Yeah.
my
It's better than
biggest
normal. That's
my
what, like,
biggest
better
thing
than
is-
usual.
yeah, their firearms and their holsters and stuff
You're
all
gonna say
seem
this, aren't you?
really fucking clean. They're like pristine, like they
Oh,
just got them
yeah.
out of a box.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like that would be the case. You can clean a weapon, but it's still gonna be lived in. I mean, I don't know.
That's a great way to put it, dude. Lived in.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
so
nothing I ever carried overseas, and that stuff was very well maintained. Looked as shiny and new as the gear that these guys got. So, and you know, I don't know.
every time you squeeze around, every single time you squeeze the trigger, that is literally it's called smokeless gunpowder. It's
Mhm.
not smokeless. It literally, it's just not black gunpowder that you see from the old musket days. Was like just like this plume of. So literally every single time you squeeze around, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you could do 20, you could do 200. You're going to have to clean that weapon because, quite frankly,
Oh, there's all that dust. Yeah.
it's literally
yeah.
it's literally dust, and quite frankly, it will jam the weapon depending on what it was. Now, I mean, the AR-15 or the M3, the whatever you want to call it. Sorry, M4. That is a better functioning weapon. What I don't like is when they have the M9, which is a Beretta, and you see them just like, and I'm like going, that weapon is such a giant piece of, like, what are you doing?
Mhm.
Like, literally, there was an incident. I was the armorer. The sergeant failed to clear the soldier. I did the arms room procedure. Cleared it. There was no magazine, right? Literally, let the slide forward, pulled the trigger, it didn't fire. There was a magazine in it, by the way. When I walked away, as the gravity swung, it fired at my foot. This is how the M9 Beretta works. It is a giant piece of shit.
All right,
And it is
let
in
me-
so many freaking episodes of
Do
shows,
not
movies.
buy the M. What is it? The M9
It's
Beretta.
the
A Beretta.
Beretta M9.
Okay.
I mean,
We have firearm. My husband's a big 2A guy. He's like very knowledgeable with this
just
stuff.
get a
but
Glock.
yeah.
You
Yes,
can't go wrong with
just
it.
get a Glock.
I like our AR better. I don't like the recoil on the Glock a little. I like the bigger. It just for myself. It just
Most women like
yeah.
most women are better with
Yeah.
rifles than they are with
Yeah.
pistols and
Yeah.
vice versa. I mean, it just really depends. I mean, rifle shooting and pistol shooting is very different. I don't have a huge problem with anything. I mean, like I said, those are just nitpicks that I had. I do like the fact that he didn't have like a flamethrower that you know, it ran out of gas pretty quickly. Like he didn't have this like
Or shot 100 feet.
supply.
I want one so bad. I want one so bad.
So,
It was a reasonable range, to
Yeah.
kind of piggyback off toxicity. It was a reasonable range. It was like 30 feet, maybe topped 20 feet. So flamethrowers are not like one of those things like, and you just go nuts. It's not one of those things.
I have so many old stuffed animals. I'm so ready. I just
Yikes.
want to take them out to the
Yikes.
desert and just, yeah. All right. Anyway, so Jackson does get hit pretty hard, pretty freaking hard on it. And Joel and Dina see it while they're taking Abby to Abby's hideout, where she's like, hey, no, instead of us trying to make it there, which we won't in this weather, let's make it to, my friends are staying up at this lodge up here, and is able to bring him basically to a trap. Go ahead.
So my biggest issue, and I know it's fine, it's almost 1-for-1 with the game, that's fine. But my biggest issue is that, like, if I'm watching this from as a normie, quote unquote, non-nerd viewer, like, I don't see, like, there's no redemption arc for Abby, because Joel just saved her life, so maybe that should make her any normal human would make her question her judgment. I'm like, maybe this guy, there's something more to it. Like, any normal human being would have, like, at least stop for a second before going through with all those actions. And I get none of that. I get it, fine. It's the same as the game, but this was like a huge missed opportunity where you could have, like, dived into each of the characters' past. Like, I don't know. Anyway.
But I agree with you. That's not an excuse, because the game did it. And look, I'm not saying you're excusing the game. Joel saved her life. She should have been like going, wait a second, hold on.
Exactly. Any normal human being would do that.
Yes.
Is she a normal? Is she a normal human being, or is she a person that's been obsessed with revenge for 5 years and it's getting worse and festering and getting worse and worse and worse?
I mean,
and it's starting to
some
corrupt.
level of psychosis, I guess.
I mean, even a person who has been obsessed for 5 years. Let's put it in the neighborhood of an ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend, right? They broke up with you because you weren't the right. Anyway, long story short, eventually, if they come back or something like that, or if you bump into them and you do something nice for them, they're going to be like going, oh, okay, well, that's weird, right? They're going to reflect on, she has zero reflection. Zero.
I don't know. There's people that have done some horrific things to me. There's people who've done horrific things to my loved ones, and they could literally give me their lottery winnings. They could save my life, and I'm still allegedly going to do something to them if I run.
Well, that's fair. I mean, look, I'm not dismissing that. I'm just saying, on the normal stage, right? Normal every day.
It's a zombie apocalypse show. It's not. How are we normal? You guys are trying to shoehorn these norm. I don't get it. I'm glad she's not Mongo, the steroided out Abby from the game. I'm glad
I am too.
It's believable. But I think you guys are giving her way too, like, I get that it's unfair that she did this, that she should look at it and go, he did just save my life. But you know what? We don't live in Shouldville or Fair World. We live in the real one. And this one's even worse because this is zombie apocalypse world. I think everything that she does in here is completely believable. Everything.
I agree.
Would you think it would be better if we had an episode of seeing the 5 years to see this fester, and maybe it estranges her relationship with her crew, like some way that no matter what, there is no going back, instead of just us trusting the narrative at this point?
Maybe, but I mean, it's one of those things where it's like a double-edged sword. If we did that, then that's just more bloat. And really, I was really hoping they were going to do exactly what they've done, which is hurry up and get to this, so I don't have to hear about it week after week. Like, oh, wait for the golf scene. The golf scene's going to make you stop watching the show soon. Like, I'm just glad we hurry up and got to this, because I really don't. I mean, hell, fucking even Joel is just like, just fucking hurry up and get on with it, because he doesn't want to listen to her exposition.
You're not wrong.
So I mean,
I do want to know what medication they gave Dina, because I would like a good night's sleep for a couple hours. Hey, Jamma. Whatever they injected into her.
There's a whole bunch of those, and those are not the type of medications that are going to give you a good night's rest.
To him, yes, and I stabbed him 37 times in the chest.
Carl, that kills people.
Oh.
Yeah, this scene is strange, Naughty, because like in a game, it's such a setup because as soon as they walk in, right, Dina's like, hey, or, sorry, Dina, Abby's like, hey guys, this is Joel, and then Joel has it look around with Tommy. It's like, hey, seems like you guys know who we are, and like we do, but like within 2 seconds, she already shoots him in the fucking leg. Right here, to her credit, she's telling why Joel's on the radio trying to call Tommy back. She's behind the scenes like, hey, that's this Joel guy we're looking for, and they do it behind his back. So the show gets that right. But also the show, what thing I don't like is then Joel still, even with one leg, and I'm sure, Ryan and Toxic would know this, even shot in the leg, he's still a pretty decent sized guy. In the game, 2 guys are pinning him to fuck down. He can't fight fucking back. This entire sequence, he's like this, right? Hey, Abby, please talk for 10 fucking minutes while I watch you talk and talk and talk and talk. He could have jumped out the window behind him. Also, he could have jumped to one and grabbed a gun.
No, the fuck he could not. She shot him in the leg with a shotgun, Blue.
But before she shot
in the show,
before she shot him though, she talks for 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
So
He's
in
like,
that,
I'm
for 5
surprised
minutes.
she didn't. That shot. By the way, that shotgun should have probably taken that leg off. in
Maybe
my
it
opinion.
depends. It
But-
depends.
yeah, it'd
That's what I'm
be.
saying. But inside the game, inside the game, once he walk in, within 4 seconds, she fucking blows his knee out,
Okay.
which I'm like, okay, I'll give you that one. But also too, they got him pinned down even when he's injured.
Okay,
The show,
listen.
it's like
No.
this: talk, then shoot me after 5 fucking minutes watching you talk. He couldn't have
Very-
punched you in the face.
The moment between when he realized he's completely fucked with the Salt Lake City comment and hey, I saved your, he's probably still thinking he can talk his way out of it. Number 2, he's got Dina to worry on. He can't just haul ass, and she even makes a veiled threat that, hey, give me the information I want and I won't hurt her.
Yeah.
So he realizes that he's got to protect her. Number 3, Dina has chilblain already just from being out there, even with gloves on. You're gonna tell me that he'd be dead in like half of a mile. You never saw Wind River? He ain't making it nowhere on with no coverage and on foot away from these guys. There's no way, and they could just shoot him from the fucking window, even if he jumped out of the window.
Yeah.
You've watched too many
But
movies.
why didn't?
Well, okay, I'll take
why
my
didn't he-
chances versus fucking 4 assholes having guns on me.
But why didn't he just risk it at this point, saying, "Hey, the reason I killed your dad was because he was going to kill my kid," and like, just
Yes!
like a Hail
Then
Mary.
why- then he has
It's
to
the last
explain-
Hail Mary.
Then he has to explain why. Then he has
No,
to
Okay,
explain
he
why.
doesn't.
But here's the thing: they're the last of the Fireflies, supposedly, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so he explains why he had to do it. It gets back to them. Okay, maybe Ellie is the next target for them, but maybe he has a shot here of surviving, and then he could take these guys out later. I'm just saying hypothetically. Like, I know where the game goes for it, but there makes no sense for him not to go, well, your dad was about to kill my kid, and like I had to do what I had to do, and if you're gonna kill me, but that is the reason why, and go from there.
one thing,
And that's where I have a problem, literally, with what happens in this. She's like going, you walked in the, I don't, how was she? You killed one doctor. How many other people were in that operating room?
Yeah.
Three on screen. 4, maybe 5. She doesn't ask why didn't you kill them? Like, are you just this horrible person? And yes, and again, I'm on all sides of this. I understand where the rotating door, but no, it's one of those things that he's like, when Ellie shows up, he's like, he was gonna kill my daughter.
You're ascribing too much logic to a chick who has gone way bonkers past Logicville many years ago, and she just and the adrenaline is pumping. She just accidentally found Joel, or he found her. It doesn't matter how it happened, but they accidentally found each other, which she was starting to think was going to be a lost cause, and they weren't actually going to get him in the first place, because I think she probably knew this attack on the Jackson compound was going to be a suicide mission, but now it's landed in her laps. Also, she just almost got eaten. They just came off of a running battle with the horde of zombies and shit like that.
Mhm.
All of this stuff is going on all at the same time. Everybody's blood is hot. They can see that the compound is being destroyed. She's got to get the Dina girl out of the way. She's got to control her people. Then she's got to deal with Joel. I I don't think any of these. You guys are like talking about like she should sit down and have a committee meeting, and none of
I
these
don't
people
think,
should be-
no, I don't think she should have a committee meeting. I'm saying from Joel's point of view, he has not used all of his resources to get out of this. So like if he really wanted to get back to his
That's what
kid,
I
he really
felt.
wanted to get back to Jackson, he would have used this. And even if she still killed him afterwards, then that's fine. But again, we don't know the 5 years that Abby's had. We don't know. There's nothing indicating it.
Exactly. And what also don't we know about that 5 years? What do we also not know? And what do we
don't know about Joel and Ellie's relationship, but towards the end of this episode.
And what else do we not know about Joel? What else do we not know about Joel over that 5 years? Do you think it's not possible that he has gone back and forth with himself, and that maybe the shit about I saved her is he's at least partially thinking maybe I made the wrong fucking call, maybe I made a mistake, maybe I fucking double tapped a doctor who had good intentions, and maybe that wasn't the best call. Maybe I reneged on the deal that I did and shot Marlena or whatever. I don't remember the chick's name.
Yes,
in cold blood at the end. I mean, the soldiers that he fought in the stairwells and stuff in Salt Lake City, yeah, that was in hot blood. But then the other stuff he did was basically just in a fugue state to get Ellie back, and he just basically he murked those people. And listen, I'm all about it. I am totally fine with what he did. But then again, you have people who have a thing called a conscience, and after a while, maybe he's just hoping, look, if she just kills me and gets us out of her system, then she won't hurt Dina. And then later, when Ellie comes in, he's hoping that she won't hurt Ellie. If he doesn't give up. Giving up more information to this fucking psycho was not going to get him out of that situation. He knew that he was done.
Actually, I think it would have, because based off her crew, because it looked like nobody on her crew except that one dude who was just, I don't know why he just had to kick Ellie.
You mean boyfriend right here in the shot?
I think,
Ellie cut him. But it's a really quick scene. It's a really quick scene. You can't really see it, but when they grab her, the dude that gets all mad, I think he's a Hispanic dude. She pulls that knife that she had from season 1 and she cuts him, and he gets all pissed off about it. I think it's shown a little bit better in the game than it is in that scene. It's like a blink if you miss it.
Even then, the three of them, their body language, just their demeanor, their dialogue used in this scene, if he had said something, I mean, granted, this is all hypothetical, right? We know how this plays out. This is just adding more fuel to the fire. But they all looked like, okay, if he said, I saved my kid, I think they all would have been like, hey, Abby, maybe this is not a great idea. Like, maybe this is not how we approach this. But, I mean, I wanted to give Paul a second because Paul had a comment.
Go ahead, Paul. Oh, it's like kind of unrelated to the narrative, but if you can put Abby on when she's like, whatever, questioning Joel. Right
here or a little bit?
Just like when she's like leaning over him. But this whole sequence to me, perfect, exactly this shot. She just looks CGI'd. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about her.
Out of the game.
Yeah,
Are you sure that's not actually CGI? Because
I don't know. She just doesn't look like a real human on screen. To me, or I'm blind. I don't know.
I've seen this shot, and I think somebody probably CGI'd it.
In my opinion, probably the lighting.
The only question for all you guys watching this is that, like, okay, inside the game, after Joel is hitting the leg, okay, she has a golf club, hits him in the head repeatedly, and I could understand a golf club, even for Abby, she's way fucking bigger, would disorient him and knock him down. In the show, what she first do? She first hits him in the knee twice with a golf club. It's painful. By the time Ellie gets her, right, Abby's she's actually on Joel on top of him, hitting him, and again right there, every part of me is like, you've been shot in the leg, hurts no doubt, been hitting the fucking knee twice. If a 5'1" girl gets on top of me and is hitting me at any time period, he would have grabbed her, broke her fucking neck, bit or whatever, used as a human shield. I'm not gonna sit there and just go like this while you're beating the fuck out of me by yourself.
In the game, it makes more sense, right?
Because she first hits him in the head, and after hits him in the head, knocks him. Because a golf club, even in Abby in the game, is like fucking 6'2", 250 of muscle. That would hurt, and she's hitting me in the head repeatedly. I get that. Hitting me in the knee is gonna hurt like a bitch, but like it's not gonna stop me from grabbing you and fucking wrestling you, choking her to death or some shit. At this point, why not grab Abby? Because he knows he's about to fucking die. I'm taking this bitch with me.
I will say I did post a poll I completely forgot about asking if Abby was right, and 13% of people who have voted out of 31 votes said yes, and 87 said no. So, there you go. There you go. All right. So
nice to hear that people have consciences.
Yeah. So this episode ends with Joel being beat to a pulp. I don't think I can really show it on YouTube.
I wouldn't.
You don't see anything. That's what's really weird.
And the difference is,
I've been
inside
hit
the
so many weird things before.
No, not a shot at you, but like compared to what has previously been, I think that HBO took the coward's way out, in my opinion, because it's HBO. You did Game of Thrones. You showed people doing things that were like, holy smoke.
Night, Rachel.
I think they showed plenty.
I agree with you, man.
What more? I mean, what more did you really need to see? I mean, I thought it was plenty.
I think it was realistic to being hit by a golf. From my point of view, as a former special effects artist, it's realistic looking. I think if they had gone a little bit more with his, like, exploded his head or something, it would just not make sense. Yeah.
No, I don't want that. But like it's alluded to the fact that, like, she's all of a sudden punching him in the face, and it's like, great. And then all of a sudden she has beat his face in with a golf club. And then all of a sudden she takes the broken golf club. Really? I'm gonna say really. She's a small woman. Look, I'm not trying to be a dick, but she is a small woman. She broke that golf club off. Really? Are you serious with that?
It depends on the golf club, I would say. Depends on the material of the golf club.
Exactly. And quality of the golf club.
But
Jackson Hole is full of rich assholes. They're probably good clubs. Sorry, just that.
Yeah. But they've been sitting there for how many years, rusting and not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's one thing I give them credit though. Her stabbing him in the neck, actually, in terms of her size, at least that makes more sense versus like her actually beating. Because again, the girl's like 102 fucking pounds. It's like with these bird-like arms. Her beating him to death would make any sense. I could see her stabbing him. That would make sense. But also, you're saying Ryan
said, it is cold, and metal gets harder when it's cold. So.
I think we're looking at the what is it, the forest, not the, or something. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's so weird. These are some weird I don't know. I mean, I don't
I know where you're going with that. How do we feel about how this scene played out, guys? How do we feel about
I will say this for Bella Ramsey, as much as I've been dunking on her in the last couple hours, whatever, when she plays crying and hysterical, she does that well. It's kind of like the chick who plays 11 on Stranger Things. Like when she's doing crying and hysterical, she sells that. So I'll give her that, but it's the rest of the stuff that I have a problem. If she's all over the place and doing crazy shit, like when she stabbed to death the dude in season 1, I bought that. And then her look of what did I just do when Joel picks her up and calls her baby girl, I believe that she sold me on that. But it's that other stuff when she just does random dialogue or God forbid the fucking kissing love scene and stuff with Isabela Merced. I don't buy it. So I mean, like I said, if she's gonna be playing in the big leagues with Kaitlyn Dever for the rest of the season, then man, she really better fucking step up her game. But this scene, is it's a really good scene. It's really well done.
Yeah.
From my point of view, it's really well done, but I didn't feel anything from it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I mean, I think by Ashley, her voice and the way she's yelling, "Jill, please get up! Jill, please get up!" Ashley, just because she's a better actor than Bella. Like, if you watch the game, just in terms of like her dialogue and motion, because it's all mocapped, I feel like Ashley had just a better, like the way Ashley's saying the game, "Please, Jill, get up," and Bella's like she's trying, but she's struggling with this versus the way Ashley played Ellie.
I've seen that scene in the cutaway stuff, DLC or whatever you call it. I kind of agree with the voice thing, but I think this works better where you see Joel actually kind of attempting to do it, and he's kind of his hands flickering, and the fact that she crawls over to him, pulls the thing out, and then just holds him while he dies and stuff like that. I think that's I think that's very
not
I think
impactful.
that's very well done.
I don't know what it was. It's not.
Well,
I found season 1's episode where after she was taken by those dudes and the cannibals, and she stabbed the guy and burned the place down, and Joel shows up at the last minute. I felt the moment there between the two was more impactful than this, surprisingly. Again, I don't think this is not technically done right for the story, the pacing, the characters, all that stuff. I don't know. It just didn't hit me as hard as like that scene did from last season.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because again we get this riff between the two of them in the last 2 episodes. We don't know what's going on, and maybe just because it's adapted to TV, we needed an episode of the 5 years or something to show us why they have this relationship.
I have
and
a feeling they're gonna. Yeah, I have a feeling they're gonna do it. Yeah, they're gonna do it backwards, and then they're gonna try to milk it for I think that's why people think Pedro Pascal was going to be in most of the season. I think he's going to be more things where she's like all pensive and melancholy and stuff like that. I mean, I think that's what they're going to do. And I think I don't know. I can't say whether or not that's going to be good or bad because I haven't seen it yet. So I don't know if that's going to be effective or what. I'll tell you what, them riding away at the horses with Joel's dead body in a fucking sack, and they're dragging his ass. And she's just looking at it like, like she's just totally shell-shocked. I mean, she plays shell-shocked good. I'll give her that. I mean, maybe it's because, you can make a potato look stunned, I guess, I don't know.
So before we go around with final thoughts, just want to give some differences from the game. In the game, Joel's death occurs earlier in the narrative. It's less immediate context about Abby's motives. The show reveals Abby's backstory early, reducing the mystery, but providing TV audience with a clear motivation. The golf club is used in both versions, but the show amplifies the violence emotional impact, with Pedro and Bella delivering powerful performances in their final moments together. Some fans noted the torture was less graphic than in the game. The infected attack in this show it's an original edition, so it's show original edition, provided reasons for Joel and Abby's encounter and adding spectacle throughout. Some critics argued that it overshadows the emotional weight of Joel's death, and I think I kind of agree with that, because I actually liked the attack on Jackson versus Joel's death. Like, to me, I was more involved with the characters and the emotional impact with those versus this, and this should have been a big one. This should have been a gut punch, even if you knew it was coming, and I just didn't feel that. But that's just me. That's my personal opinion. Paul, final thoughts on this episode?
Yeah, so I have to totally agree with everything you just said. My favorite part of the episode was the whole attack on Jackson sequence. And I knew that the Joel death was coming, and for me, there was not enough narrative backdrop to get to that moment. So that fell a little bit flat, but overall, I liked the second episode a lot better than the first one.
Yeah.
So if they're going for this melancholy look back that was a toxic Orion just mentioned, I think that may work if done right. Then I'll get the emotional payoff that I didn't get during the death scene. I hope to get that emotional payoff over the course of a few episodes with flashbacks. I don't know.
Agree.
I'm hopeful, I guess. But given the fact that you killed Pedro Pascal, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get a season 3.
Tank. It's gonna tank.
We'll see. We're gonna see where it ends with season 2, because they got a lot of things. Before you go, Blue, I'm sorry, Toxic. I'd be here more often if Talk's opinions were here. Common is just pulling. He's just pulling. He's just playing.
That's what I thought. I'm like, is this like a troll?
He's just being. This is Common. He's just being playful. He's just being playful. That's all. But you know what? Here we go.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
There we go.
Nope.
Where'd you get that video of me?
Oh, hold on. I'm only J.K. Rowling toxic. I would be her more, but spoilers and time zones keep me in the.
Well, he's obviously in in the UK because he's got pounds.
Yeah, that's true.
It's all
Be right back.
Why won't you play the one I gave you?
in
I
the
don't
UK.
understand why you won't play the one I gave you.
Oh, I just because I have it all set over here, so I forget,
Oh.
and I just click on the ones I have. I like Common. I mean, he gives me shit in chats too, so I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take it personal. Yeah. Real money, folks. Real money, folks. Oh,
Believe
but I
it.
just realized
This may be
it's
hard to believe, but
69.
this may be hard to believe, but the Lord of Toxicity does not have thin skin. I'm actually, I'm actually okay.
I do have a question. If it's real money, Common, then why do all of you try to come to the United States? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. As somebody who has a lot of friends in the UK.
Yeah, I'd be curious too. I wonder what the rate is to us £2 at the. I don't know. I will say it's probably realer than Canadian money. I will say that at least.
What isn't? Yeah, Monopoly money.
Blue, final thoughts.
You know what's weird, Nani, is like it's funny how the first game and the first TV show didn't hate the first season of the TV show, but it took a lot of liberties, obviously, from the game. So far, we're 2 episodes in, and this is almost pound for pound identical to the game, which everyone's like, kind of a strange choice. I don't hate the show for following the game because I hate the fucking game, but I'm not mad at the show for following the game, if that makes any sense. This episode, by all accounts, say for instance you didn't play the game, episode 2 is, like I said, a 12-minute battle sequence. It's like World War Z. Excellent CGI. The blood looks fucking good. The makeup job looks good. Like, this episode, in terms of an action show, was really goddamn good. I mean, I didn't hate it for that, but it's like, and it's funny how, like, Joel, he basically died the same way. Yes, versus getting beaten in the head versus getting stabbed, it's still the same thing. But and everybody here knows the problem with The Last of Us 2 being made is that the first game is like Man on Fire in a sense. Joel's a hardened person. He's jaded by the world. He finds a reason to live again through Ellie. And the second game, just like the second season of the show, okay, if you kill him within the first hour, episode 2, what's left? Because the whole point of The Last of Us was the relationship and dynamic between Joel and Ellie. Now Joel's gone. You have Ellie to do what? It's going to be a 15-hour revenge tale because the whole plot now is just Ellie getting back to Abby. Abby already had her revenge. Joel's dead. What's left? Now you have Bella Ramsey for the rest of season 2 into season 3 now to carry a 12-hour revenge tale. Like that's going to be the fucking that's the problem with the narrative of the second game. There's nothing left. You have Ellie goes on a 10-hour revenge tale. That's it.
Pretty much.
They're hoping they're going to keep people interested with flashbacks with Pedro. I put my money on it that they're going to utilize him in flashbacks to keep people interested into it. Toxic.
So, final thoughts, as I've been promising. I like it. I'm enjoying it. I enjoyed season 1. I thought episode 1 of this season was a bit of a slog, as I've indicated, but episode 2 was great. Here is Toxic's big explanation. I'll keep it really brief because I know we've gone over time. You cannot enjoy this game if you were a big The Last of Us game player. You can't. You physically can't. You mentally can't. Or you won't enjoy the show if you played the game and enjoyed the game. Or even if you didn't, just mildly didn't like it, because for the same reason that I don't play Call of Duty, because I've already lived it. I don't need to play Call of Duty. Call of Duty is lame. I get asked that by so many people. Oh, you're a veteran. You're in combat. What do you think of Call of Duty? I don't know, because I don't fucking play it because it's dumb. It means nothing.
Yes.
So as far as that goes, and in the reverse, it works the same way. When you've played this game, you have invested a minimum of 50, 60, 70, 80 hours of just the cutaway scenes by themselves. Not to mention how many times you've died, come back, respawned, come back, done it a different way, played it again, played as a different character, yada, yada, yada. You've invested so much time and mental energy into it. as opposed to when you're watching the show and if it's just an enjoyable show and I don't know jack shit about jack shit with the game, then I have no comparison. I have no, it's like looking at a pretty girl as opposed to actually having a relationship and having sex with her, and you share oxytocin and you have a connection with them. I have no connection to the game. It means nothing to me. So I can sit there and watch the show. And it you know, so I don't know how better to explain it. If you are a gamer, and you play this game, okay, don't watch this show. The show is not for you. I know that seems like I know that seems very antithetical. I know that doesn't seem logical to say that a show based on a popular game that you played is not for you, but it's not. And there's no getting around that. You cannot mentally enjoy this show if you have played and invested so much blood, sweat, and tears into a game. That's it. That's my theory.
Okay. All right. Ryan, final thoughts?
Well, I couldn't agree more. God, I hate Call of Duty. No, I really do. I really hate Call of Duty.
I'm not a veteran, but I hate Call of Duty too.
I don't play it.
Yeah, I am a veteran, and I hate Call of Duty.
Last of Us game. I mean, I'm surprised so many post-apocalyptic worlds, just like Joel, so I can't play the game.
Blue.
Considering how much he's had to travel in New York, I kind of believe that's actually possible. Yeah.
New York sucks.
Yes, it does. Yes.
Well, yeah, it does. Anyway, long story short, Call of Duty sucks. The Last of Us 2 game, it did something just to be shocking. It did it because it was like going, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And it did it because of activism, you know. So anyway, I don't care. It's not something that I'm gonna love forever. The show is mediocre at best. Season 1 is fine. Season 2 is less than fine.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see what happens. And again, I knew what was coming. So, and the reason I was like going, do it, just do it. You know you're going to do it, is because quite frankly, it's going to bring the normies in, and they're going to go, holy Jesus Christ, what the did you do? So anyway, we'll do this again next Thursday. And,
and it won't be 3 hours because we will only be covering one episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I never played the games. I really enjoyed season 1. I have hope for season 2. I look at it for more of I look at it as like the games don't exist. So this is just a storytelling. So there are plot holes, there are things missing, there are characters' motives that don't make sense. Maybe it'll make sense with flashbacks, but I fucking hate flashbacks, to be honest. I think it's a cheap way to get your narrative to move forward instead of actually taking the time to write out those as episodes to utilize. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. We will be back here next Thursday to discuss episode 3. Until then, Paul, what do you got going on next?
I'm gonna work on my Warfare review because it's by far my #1 favorite movie of the whole year. And then just slowly getting back because I've taken a hiatus from making videos because of I had surgery last week. So yeah, look out for more videos coming. And then I will have Thirsty Thursdays in a couple weeks. So we'll have to like finagle our...
Yeah, I figured you were going to either be on just for a short time or you were just not going to be on. So don't worry about that.
Okay. Yeah.
I figured, yeah. I know Thursday's a hot commodity for streamers. Time. But hopefully I'll come back on after this.
100%. But by the way, I meant to ask, did you, because you had mentioned something on Twitter about doing like an all women thing.
Yeah.
I connected you with Sid.
I didn't message her. Okay, I'll message her. I already had like 3 people. We'll talk backstage. Yeah. Blue also liked Warfare, by the way. He's been trying to talk me into going to see it.
I've been trying to do a damn review,
I
but
told him I would only go see it if he hold my hand during.
It's time consuming. No, it's my favorite film of the year. And like Drinker said, there's one scene that I was watching IMAX where I haven't jumped in movie theater in about 2 or 3 years now. One scene, and you guys probably know about it because I know Toxic seen it in somebody else that there's an IUD and I just didn't see it coming. Like, holy fuck, man! I actually jumped up like, yeah. I just been doing some gaming here and there, Nadia. Like my Last of Us 2, actually episode 2 is recorded. It's got to edit this, and I'm so backed up and stuff. But real life. I mean, having a kid and doctors, things like that. So I'm here, but yeah, I'm backed up.
When do you go see Revenge of the Sith?
Well, I'll probably see it tomorrow because they're playing today and tomorrow. So my kid's seen it today, but I want to go see it tomorrow just to see it in theaters. And also Until Dawn.
Absolutely.
Because I know you want to see that, but and so
if you see Until Dawn before Tuesday and you want to come on Tuesday to talk with Leon and I, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, and just like technically speaking, The Accountant 2 comes out tomorrow. I've seen The Accountant 2 last week. I've had no time to make a video because I've been so busy working 2 jobs. But The Accountant 2 had so much fun with that. Jeremy Johns liked it. Ben Affleck, John Bernthal. It's like there's so much out there now.
I really want to see it because I haven't seen 1 and I really want to see 1. And I asked my husband to see it and he's like, I know it's going to be fun, but I don't want to watch an autistic guy be an assassin. I just don't.
John Bernthal, him and Affleck need to make more movies. They are so good together on screen.
Yeah. Toxic, what do you got going on next?
Well, I'm going to try to get another of my series, Consider the Source, book versus the adaptation for Sharp Objects, since it's been put on my Plex Pass and it's one of my favorite books. Fellow Kansas City author. I'm working on my next book, the follow-up to Slapdash. And I'll try to do some kind of stream. I think we talked about maybe doing something with Carrie book versus the film, just so I can talk about a car that almost kills its owner, so I can maybe do a fundraiser for my car repairs. I'm also throwing out in our chat group, if anyone is a fan of Burn Notice, I may do a retrospective on Burn Notice, because I don't think that gets quite enough love. I might try to enlist Dudicus on that and see if he'll be willing to do that. And yeah, that's about, I'm kind of, a lot of stuff going on.
Very cool. Ryan, thank
outstanding.
you for joining.
No, of course. So
what do you got going on?
Tomorrow is going to be Friday night. Yes, it is Friday night. I'm going to be playing the Thing remake.
Nice. It's so good.
Yeah. And then, of course, back on Saturday is, of course, a watch along with How I Met Your Mother, because I love nostalgia. And then, of course, Sunday is Top Gear for those you British people. No, I kid. And then, of course, it's Mayday Monday, of course, from the National Geographic Channel. God, I have so many things I'm doing. Sorry. I'm look, just, what? Legion Talk, find me, and that's fine. And LG 2076 at Twitter, you'll find me. So I'm tired. It's been a long day. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry we ran over.
No, you're fine.
Everybody's channel are linked in the description below. Please go follow everybody on this panel. Everybody will be back with me next week. As for myself, tomorrow I have a great panel again. We're going to be doing Stranger Things, episodes 7 and 8, and everybody's been looking forward to episode 7, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to get through that, and then we'll do the finale the following week, and we'll be leading into season 3. Saturday is my members watch party. We're going to be watching Talk to Me. And since I did hit my super chat goal, I will be planning a tasting of Matthew Lillard's tequila that I got with the Mike Flanagan novella that you only can get through this, and read it and hang out. So I might do that after the members watch party. I'll figure it out, but it'll be in the next few days. And then Tuesday we're back with Until Dawn. Leon is joining me, and whoever else in the chats that wanted to join me will be talking about Until Dawn. I have played the game. I'm curious to see how this movie is. It going to be a movie for horror fans, or is it going to be a movie for the gamers? Probably not the gamers.
So far, watching the trailer looks interesting.
Yeah,
reviews are coming in kind of, but we'll see. We'll see. Thank you everybody who super chatted. Thank you everybody who gifted memberships. ABF dude and like everything common. Zax, Leon, RRTNZ. You guys are awesome. Chat. Fucking, you guys were on fire tonight. I'm sorry. You guys. I'm not even sorry. You guys were awesome. You guys were great. I loved it. The banner back and forth. You guys are always the best thing about all my streams. So thank you guys so much. Until next time. As always, folks, you know what to do. You stay spooky.